see you again. Really looking forward to a great game of footy today.
Fantastic to be here with you both, fellas, and no, it's absolutely picture perfect here at Wentworth Oval. The ground is looking as good as I've ever seen it. It's probably just getting all that rest over the cricket season, which has been very helpful. But as you said, DFAB, it's probably two different sides from last year's grand final as well. But it's going to be very exciting.
Houston Club result with John Hollywood on the boundary. Welcome, Johnny. Very well, thank you, mate. It looks like it might be almost too warm for you and your hoodie and your pants combination out there. It looks like a perfect day for football.
Johnny, can I just ask a quick question? Sorry, mate. What number are you wearing today on the front of the security vest? I tell you what, it's I'll tell you what, well, this is what happens. I mean, in the most popular places, people fight against it, so it's obvious.
Johnny, no real breeze to speak of down there at the moment at all from our perspective. What's it like in the centre of the ground? Johnny, will come back down to you in just a moment as the skippers from the opposing teams in Brad Hards and of course Andy Hall, like two of the best captains in the competition, and they're taking the point toss. And looks like it has been 1-1 there, Johnny, and looks like Imperials have won the toss there. Who has left of your radio dial? We'll come back to Johnny as the first quarter goes on. DFAB, a few changes from the teams from last week. For the Wentworth side, we saw who, especially in the second half, was very, very impressive against our able to get their first win. Jaden Sutton, a big in. Tristan Parker as well, although Lockie Murdoch and Harry Howe both out from that side.
Yeah, that's a couple of changes there. Should change how they set up, but too much you would think. They certainly was impressed last week. Yeah, as the game went on, they held total scoreless for two quarters. Whether the win played a part in that probably did, but pretty impressive to be able to lock down when they had the opportunity to, and a little bit of damage their way.
Imperials obviously had the bye last week, but we saw them before them on the Anzac Day fixture, and a very impressive performance from Mildura. Rarely lost in the last few years for the Green Machine. Got a couple of young guys coming into the side today as well. Cooper Whitemore, a former junior who went down to Geelong, I think played in senior game for Geelong West last year, and he came back again. And Douglas Gray, who's in the area.
Yeah, well, that's right, and that's probably the one thing we've seen with this. It is a very different side to what they had last year. We saw a couple of those young penny boys that have come through, Cooper and Jackson, who played some really good footy at the time. But yeah, we're probably waiting for that recycle to happen at Imperials, given that they're still relying on some of those absolute superstars they've had for the last 15 or 20 years in the hard boys. So it's really good to see a little bit of reblooding coming through. And it's going to be intriguing just to see, how you said, Gray comes in. We don't know too much about him. Whitelaw played at a higher level down there in the Geelong Football League, so it's going to be interesting to see what he brings back in. But also with regards to obviously Wenny as well. You mentioned last week that they were able to keep Original goalless. It's going to be intriguing to see whether Ben McLean, the coach of the Wenny Roos, has been watching the videotape against that Mildura game, and how they really stepped the over to be able to try and maximise that, I suppose, that running speed and running capacity that Mildura had. Wentworth is a very similar sort of makeup of that side, so it's going to be intriguing to see how they play through.
That was really the blueprint, wasn't it, DFAB, those couple of weeks ago? That's the way to beat Imperials going forward.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. It was certainly an exciting game. We're not sure yet if it was a bit of a shift in the hierarchy as far as the competition goes. Probably a bit early to say that because things, early in the year they're adjusting to their changes, and it didn't feel like it was the most negative of losses. It just they count against a side that's trying to prove itself and get a job.
Well, that was their first loss in about 8 months, wasn't it?
Yes.
You'll take that. I mean, they were due for one, but I'll tell you what, we've got two really good looking midfields in the middle here. You've got Riley Burns going up against Nick Jensen, but stacked with talent. As you can see, Lasky in the middle there with the two Hards boys. We've also got Jack Cottrell, who's as fit as a fiddle. Jack Carter is going to be a cracker, boys.
Absolutely it is. This first turn brought to you by the team at Pioneer Ford Robinvale. The first clearance going the way of Imperials, but Lasky long forward and Luke Hickey, right place at the right time. The key position man playing in front, takes the strong chest mark in front of Andy Wall. Will take the set shot. Directly in front.
Against, especially the first half against Ventura, who was really quiet. So that's a beautiful clearance just coming out there. But I'll tell you what, coming out there, look, he looked like a. He had his arms out for about 18 seconds.
So Hickey looks pretty good off the boot. He might have just tailed it a bit to the left, and he has. Through for a minus score. So Coombe Club scoreboard sees Imps in one behind. Wentworth yet to score. That's a bit quiet in this game. But that centre clearance is really opened up by the positioning of Imperials' other midfielders there, and Riley Burns put it down to perfection.
Exactly right. He did into the space. That was a good battle in the grand final last year, but Riley Burns had a pretty good game, so we'll see if that continues today.
Wentworth kicking forward, a chance here just forward of half forward. Cottrell evades the tackle, handle with Sapupo. A little bit wider still to Carter. The ever system. Nice handball around the corner here. Chance for Wayne Hancock to get the first. He's put it through the middle. Great response there for Wentworth. 1 straight 6. Imperials 1 behind on that Coombe Club scoreboard. That's proper coast to coast footy.
Yeah, it was just again really nice link up. Sapupo just nice and measured. It Cottrell just being in the thick of that action on the outside wing. He's the type of player that they need to be able to get that transition from half back at the moment, defab. But I like the structure of him down forward. Big Aaron Duck down there. He's getting helped out by, it looks like Dawes. He's going to go down deep as well. It just allows obviously Wade Hancock to play up the ground a little bit, gets him a little bit looser, and not having that key defender on him to try and come over the top.
Good ball movement between the key midfielders there, and entry inside 50, just kicked it into space for Aaron Duck to work with, and that was enough.
It's pretty good half forward line that Wentworth have there. It's tackling the middle of the ground. Might be a bit high on Lasky. Umpire says your way. Again goes along inside 50. This time was a bit there. It was strong mark taken by Andy Wall, who was doing that for fun in the first half last week.
A long way in front of Hickey there as well. It was as if he completely misread that contest under down.
Wall going down 11th Street, flanking fly over the top. I reckon on the second bite. That's a good grab. Jack Cottrell showing some heels. Got some air time. Told to play on. Little short kick is nice. Finds a short lead up and comes from Blake McDonald.
So McDonald on centre wing. He's going to just look to try and find the right target. He's not looking to blaze away anytime soon. So he weighs up the options. He's being asked to play on, so he has to go long and direct down the line. Looking for Jensen, trying to get front position, but very, very well from behind. With experience. The ball spills out again to Cottrell, who's just getting the possessions at ease. Looking to go forward to Wade Hancock, who's bumped off the ball. The ball goes over the boundary line, and a really good matchup between him and Callahan today.
We used the club resort. John Hollywood down on the boundary line. Any matchups that are taking your eye so far? McDonald tipping Woody starting off half back again.
It's intriguing, isn't it? Certainly agree with you there, Johnny.
And there's a chance here for Campbell Davison with the handball out, still a half forward for Wentworth. Mike Stokes down at the bottom of the pack alongside Riley Shaw, I think. Last man up.
I think what's the most disappointing thing for Wentworth right now is Tristan Huppy getting moved them on.
I didn't recognise him out there without the mullet. I think they just added a little bit to the character. Because remember that one loss that the Imperials had last year was actually an after the siren kick against Wentworth here. It was Parker who kicked the
It's
goal.
like watching Wayne Wiedemann at Bruce Park in the early 90s.
Be careful, because most of our audience don't know who Wayne Wiedemann is.
No, that's a good point.
Tap down, sharp nicely here by McDonald. Quick hand line of the pack to Davison, who busts through the tackler. Around the corner, Cam Davison. He's just tugged it a little bit too far across and through for a minus score. 1-1-7 for Wentworth. Imperials 1 behind with the Coombe Club scoreboard. 4 minutes gone in this opening turn.
Well, that's going to be intriguing, DFAB. As we can see, there's a tipper who's going to be playing with Campbell Davison, so that's going to be a really intriguing matchup. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's going to be, as we heard from John, there could be a bit of rotating with the outkeepers he is. So it's going to be, I think it'll be a bit each way.
Yeah.
Tippers rebounding will probably be a bit damaging, but if Davison can get to space, it'll be the other way.
I guess that's the thing. Campbell Davison's got to be dangerous going forward. Is really going to be the thing to make him accountable.
Yeah, that's right.
Kick down the line from fullback, sharked here by Scott for Imperials. Big tackle lane on Bryce Hards. Now McDonald handball back inside 50 from Wentworth. There's a shot over the shoulder, and it's going to go to McDonald. set shot from pretty much directly in front, but it's going to be outside the 50 by the time it makes connection.
Is it decent kick that, McDonald?
Go, Johnny.
I was thinking the same thing as you too, Johnny. Yeah.
Well, Trapdoors, I think, played pretty good foil up for them last week, which worked for them. As McDonald comes in off the long run and is in for a minor score. But you also look deep out at guys like Jack Cottrell, Blake McDonald. They're not small men as they're running around. They're mainly midfielders, but they're probably almost key position size. So they've got the opportunity to flip the magnets around.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, a few different options there. Like even Aaron Duck playing forward is obviously a tall option, but he's also helping out in the ruck when it goes inside 50. So there's a bit of flexibility there.
Colby Hards with the kick out of fullback for Imperials for his coaching balance. The pressure from Wentworth's been really good so far, Johnny, on the boundary. The Roos look like they're applying the pressure nicely at ground level.
So Lasky forward, looking for Hickey, punch from behind, ball spills down to Ryan Hards, quickly releases it, Hickey tries to go back and help clean up. Being robbed out of the pockets here by my young son looking for that ING credit card, yelling boys and lollies.
Much worse he's going to be spending it on Roos.
Oh, that's a good point, but here we are, centre wing, right in front of the commentary box. The two big fellas go up again. This time, real no advantage. Spills down nicely, roved by McHugh. He kicks the ball forward to the top of the 50. Fox tries to duck his head. He's got 3 to beat, and he's been called again. It was certainly high as he's got Hards running past. Well, he's got 3 Hards running past if he needs. He doesn't know which one to choose.
No way but the Hards way going forward. So Fox wheels and goes long. He's got some good purchase on it. It's not quite going to swing back. Could have been a free against Hickey, and I reckon the umpire's going to call it. Hickey, I think, was calling the hold from an Indy wall. I don't think there was a lot of an argument there.
It was like a Hulk Hogan wrestling move, that one there on the ropes.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm going to play that one.
That ball, the short kick out defence, looking like the grills on the far side of the ground.
Great season last year, girls. He was a really good picker.
On down the line, off hands. It's gained a fair bit of territory without being in anyone's possession. The Imperials player in centre of the ground is taken down, but not after 70 metre gain of territory. John Hollywood from the Houston Club Resort.
Well, that's right. He's the old Matty Scale top, isn't he? Where he can touch the ball 25 times and use it precisely every time he gets it. And as a full-back, that's just a major weapon to have.
Yeah, but deep out, it's probably almost like Rocky in his preparing sense where he punches the pig carcass. It's not going to do actually much for your knuckles, is it?
It's probably right, but he did get the early win over Wall there with the first half of the contest and goal, and we can probably just try and get those quick wins somewhere along the way.
So scrappy contest down at centre half forward here. Imperials end, so it's a free kick throwing the ball. As we see Ryan Hards, he goes with a short chip out to the pocket. Diving mark there by Tom Stevenson has dropped. Ball spills into the hands of Wentworth quickly, grabbed up at the top of the 50. So still defensive end here for Wentworth. They'll be looking to try and load up behind the contest.
First quarter on Hot FM brought to you by the team at Pioneer for Rotten Vale as Jensen slaps it into space. Cottrell couldn't keep his feet. Chancey for Imps through Jackson Penny. Around the corner, high up and under balance, back with the flight. Almost worked for Hickey at the back of the pack. Cottrell back and helping out a long kick out. It's going to favour the Imperials player running back towards the footy if it bounces. Let a kick back inside for Brad Hards, who's just going to steady. As in the trademark left foot kick, that's well weighted for Hickey. Well done though by Wall. We've got their lanes.
Oh, yes.
Gee, I don't think there was a lot in that. Maybe a chop of the arms. Free kick going the way of Hickey, deep in the left foot pocket.
Once again, he found just a bit of space ahead on the run ahead of Wall there, and that was enough to at least make it a genuinely close contest.
Hickey gains a bit of extra territory around, and he's missed. But there's a free kick off the footy.
Here, whistle.
Yeah.
As Brad Vallis, who's the man who stumbled over, he's got back up, and he's going to earn himself a free kick. So it's only about 20 metres out, 45-degree angle. Should absolutely be gettable here for the coach. Not sure who would have fringed off the ball there deep out, but can be costly.
Absolutely. It's it can be a pretty easy opportunity to think from this distance.
Vallis on the runway, puts it through.
God, it was a horrible looking kick though, wasn't it? He really made every cent of that look as ugly as he possibly could. But gee, I tell you what, that's something the betting of Glenn's going to be really disappointed with, because you've got a kick there, which was probably a touchy free kick, but right in front of the Imperials tents there. So from a really tight angle, Luke Hickey was really going to struggle to make that. So then to have an infringement defab only 10 metres out on a short angle, that's just something you really don't need. You've got to be much more disciplined than that.
Yeah, discipline's the word. That's exactly right. Just you let it as it may, but yeah, costly there.
First goal for Imperials, the 1-1-7, trailing Wentworth 1-2-8 on the Cumulus Club scoreboard. It's Mitch Wright, Ben Ridley, Michael Di Fabrizio bringing the action in the box. John Hollywood's on the boundary. Our man Max Diax Hollingworth with all the numbers as Alex Douglas. It's long forward for Imps. Go back to the fly, nicely taken there by the goal kicker in balance. Did not take his eye off the footy at all. Just outside 50. His heyday would easily make this distance.
He's got Hickey on if he needs. He's just got rid of Wall, but he's decided, yeah, well, that's right, in his heyday he would have, but he's going to be kicking right on 50 here, virtually directly in front. He elects to go short. Yeah, very good, and that looks like it was Bryce Hart's reigning medalist who just gets in front of his direct opponent there in Parker.
I think probably Wentworth could have tightened up a bit more their defense, because I reckon most players could see that balance was looking to try and pass on.
The defender realised it was a little bit too late. Just left him in a bit of space, and so an opportunity a little bit closer to goal, and Bryce Hart has this one in him.
Of course, the medal winner from last year.
Yeah, had a great year, but it was really intriguing there. As I said, the numbers that they've got back at the moment, and there were two leads that came, within 15 metres of each other, where they did get that little bit of space. So it looks like they're going with that definite one-on-one style defence at the moment, Bruce.
So, right, Bryce Hart's to maybe 2 in a row for Imperials. That's going across the face, and we'll go through for a minus score. So it's 1-2-8 apiece on the Cumulus Club scoreboard. Of course, here on Hot FM, thanks to the team calling King First National Real Estate.
There's not a player at all in the front half here for the Roos. So the Roos look to go long and direct, straight down the middle of the ground. Really nice contested mark taken by Hickey here. Quickly moves into the top of the 50. Kicks it, finds that man again, Bryce Hards, who marks right on the top of the 50. This time you would think that he's probably going to be kicking just beyond his distance. He really struggled probably to make that distance at 45 just a minute ago.
Looks like Hickey did kind of shift into the ruck for the moment, but we found himself in the right place once again.
Yeah, he's just marking today. He's been looking pretty good. He popped out there a bit further up the field, but also helps set up another opportunity to score. Like I say, this is going to be a bit tricky on this kick for Bryce Hart.
He's backing himself in, boys.
So slightly further out this time, but a straighter angle to speak of. Gets a little bit of extra purchase. Goes long.
Oh,
He wasn't far off.
He's hit the paddy.
It was coming back. It certainly looked like he had just about the journey, but it did hit those pads. But the Imperials hit the front again. 1-3-9. Wentworth 1-2-8 on the Cumulus Club scoreboard.
Geez, it's a long kick down the middle of the ground. Pack forms, ball spills the ground again. It's one of the hard boys. Ryan Hards gets it out to a running teammate. It looks like Douglas Gray for his first touch in Imperials colours. Nice little kick out again. Bryce Hards getting very, very active. At half forward, he's still 70 metres out. He elects to go with a short spearing kick. Not to advantage and cut off there by Tom Sapupo. So Sapupo is going to be kicking 25 metres out. He looks to clear the 50, finds a teammate on the outer flank. Is that our man Parker again?
It might be.
Parker just holding it up at the moment. Nothing really presenting for him. Probably the only real option is to go long and direct down the line. He does that, kicks to a one-on-one contest. The ball flies over the back, beats everybody. And right in front of our scoreboard, goes over for the empty goal.
Defense we saw last week, but we're at their best when they're able to keep control of the footy with some of the short passing and then the explosive pace that works with it. Looks like they're playing a similar type of tactic.
Yeah, certainly trying to get that same game style again this week.
So flicked in or settle in, tapped down by Dawes. And at the back of the pack there was Parker again for Wentworth, long forward. Nice pick up with the one dude by Jack Cottrell. Has to straighten up, kicks it inside. Beautifully done. If it sits up for his teammate and tires, but well read there by Grogan. Got back to help out. Callahan's handball was more in hope than anything. Nearly, but a chance here for Imps through Scott. Goes to centre half forward. That's a beautiful kick. Lasky was taken front on. He's going to get a free kick directly in front, but 55 metres out. Wentworth defence are going to want to play in and stop the oncoming leads. Burns is the deepest forward. Lasky's happy just to take it back, and he's backing himself in. Whether or not he will make the distance or not, but at least get it to the top of the square.
It's a long way out at the moment, so you can see the numbers starting to slow back with all the calls on both sides going to the right to the goal line. So Lasky is going to take it. He's probably going to be kicking right on 55. Comes in, loads up with a nice little angle, and it's looking good off the boot. It's got the distance. Accuracy just a minor. and just across the face of goal for another behind. But they're backing themselves in at the moment. So is there any breeze to note, Johnny, down there on the ground going towards the left of our dials at the moment? Intriguing, isn't it? They're certainly backing themselves in. It's back in the pocket. We've got Reece Mutch. Reece Mutch goes long, direct, looking for Duck. Duck pushed out of it. The umpire says, yes, you were pushed out of it, son. So he's going to get a free kick in front of Garbraith.
A bit of massage on the back of Duck's wings there. Down the ground.
Well, he's certainly picking up now, isn't he?
Yes, nice. As he goes across the ground now. Dangerous kick, but it could work okay. Beautifully weighted for McDonald. He's got Grills with the handball on the outside. Decides to hold it up, but
this is where Grills has got to go down the line. Push all your forwards further down the field.
He's a good kick from 55, 60 out. So
he's a great
he just get into that spot.
Yep.
Yeah, that's where he wants to be.
kick eventually went inside 50. Harper Curran was the target that evades him, and out of bounds in the left forward pocket. Here at Brian Waitman over.
Yeah, I like that matchup too. Yeah.
It's almost like watching the Kentucky Derby going around, I think, with those two going. The big stallions out there is right on cue is Galbraith.
That's on cue, weren't they?
Although the kick bounced over the top of his intended target, well done by Grills, evades the tackle. Cottrell looks to the pocket, there is Duck. His direct opponent, of course, went to follow the footy and make up for the mistake he made with the kick and left his direct opponent.
Ducky, we've got our, every Sunday morning, we have our kids in our swimming lessons. Him and his lovely wife Chloe are there, and each week we have a really good chat, and I'm virtually looking up the ceiling fan standing there asking about how.
I mean, that's not hard for you because
he's looking down at me as if I'm one of the kids in the pool. It's very intimidating standing next to the big Ducky.
at least to be in his element and being in the water down there. As Duck with the short kick inside has managed to find playing Grills. As you said before, Dave, you know he's good from this kind of distance. He's about 50 metres, maybe 52 metres out at a 45-degree angle.
That's right, he's coming in quickly, so keep from 50 out.
Grills a left foot kick. Doesn't look great, but it's got some distance on it. McDonald with hands, Hooper's at the bottom of the pack. McGinty, handballs into space. Carter's there, takes the tackle immediately. He rode it.
Tell you what, there was going to be no backward step taken by either player there. It's absolutely tough as nails, both of those boys. But Jack Carter just doing exactly what we thought he'd do as the ruck contest goes up. Hickey tries to reach over the back. Ball spills out, still in dispute. Gets into the hands of, looks like that is McHugh, who does a beautiful pirouette. Goes out wide to Douglas. Douglas can move it on quickly to his coach, Brad Valens, if he needs. He does. Finds him on centre wing. He immediately plays on, looking inside. Fox running back towards goal. He has the ball punched from behind, rows it himself, but just makes a mess of it at the last minute. Goes back in, wins his own ball, handballs it over the back. Unfortunately, they're cut off there. It looks like Carter, who's going to try and clear the day, but gee whiz, he started to look like that was a running shot at goal there.
It was a really good effort there, and 1 or 2 really against Andy Wall, and also I think it was rightly short, the other coming across. Then while Jordan McKinnon taking the ground here, just in front of our commentary position on the 12th Street wing.
Good to have McKinnon back too.
Kicked 3 goals last week, was really important in that win over Oriel. To end up going in the final term.
Gee whiz, Jackson Penny nearly lost his head.
Nick Jensen just decided to go a little bit of the old shoulder block, I think, coming through there on that one.
Good news for all our listeners, Dad's got his ING card back.
Bad news, there's nothing left on it. There's Hards, that's Bryce. Goes inside 50 with the spear kick, looking for Fox to bounce. Doesn't do him any favours. Now a chance here for Carter to clear it from halfback for Wentworth. He's got a lead coming up, a nice mark from Archie Latore. He's got to do something about him, both the Latore boys do, but I like Archie's ability to reach out in front.
Oh, they're both incredibly agile athletes, as we see him go inside, finds Kupo.
Now, Archie's a little bit older, is that right?
Yeah, so you've got Archie and Zay, and both absolute stars. So the ball goes further or wide. So this is what Mildura tried to do with Imperials, tried to spread the ground as much as they can, tried to play on, take on Tippermuddy up to the task. Ball spills out to Valens. Valens goes straight to the top of the 50. Finds Hickey. Hickey immediately plays on. He's looking for his teammate in the pocket, whose punch, which was Douglas. Beautifully done there by the Wentworth defenders as they try to work their way out of this, but seem to find themselves back in trouble again. Ball spills out, looking for Douglas. Douglas gets the ball out even further again to Cooper Penny with an errant kick up high. The ball really does nothing and gets punched over the line about 25 metres out to the right-hand point post, attacking end Imperials.
The Houston Club result, John Hollywood, a couple of really important scores there from Jared Siani, one of those guys who's no fuss, no frills, but gets the job done. and going with the shorter locks this time. We've got to have someone flying the flag for the mullets. It's nice to have him there.
Well, I thought the mullets were all rage, so if I had a hair, I'd be rocking it.
Chance here for Imperials to try and go back inside 50, left it behind with the attempted kick. Halfback, Koshel, done some real heat. Handball comes out, Brad Hart's trying to bust his way through. Numbers there with the ruse. Carter kicks it, he's upended. Landed straight in the lap, Colby Hards.
Centre half back, Colby Hards. Again, he's just going to look for a measured kick here, finds someone out wide, and that's his coach in Brad Valance. He has 3 running back to him front on, and the umpire's called an infringement. He's going to be taking a free kick, probably about 10 metres further out from where he kicked his first goal. Imperials tent here, and just in front of them, Bitchy, they've got Women's Day down there, so a very, very good turnout. I've noticed that they're very, very clearly separated the men and the women here.
John Hollywood, you just know that Brad Valance is always a big game player, and on a day like today, he was primed. Around the grounds, got some score update. Get a job. 6-18, leading Orient United 2-3-15, and at Henshawood Oval, Irimble 3-1-19, leading Mildura 1-6. Merbean in front of South Mildura out of Kenny Park 3-3-21, South 1-2-8. Good start there for the Pies, who both Pies underdogs looking for their opening win of the season. Wentworth got their first last week against Irimble.
What happens if South looks though? I mean, in all seriousness, they've gone and absolutely recruited the lights out this year. They're zipping 4 and they've had massive injuries, we understand that, but they've brought 5 guns in today. Gee whiz, surely they can't drop this game because they'll be burned out the MSP scoreboard if that happens.
Luke Hickey trying to bounce off the pack there. He's got taken holding the ball, so Reece Much, who's one of the former juniors, back to Wentworth this year. He's looked fantastic in his first few games. Long down the wing, big fly coming from Duck at the back. Leading it behind was McDonald. Off one step, Imperials going forward. Punch over the back of the pack from Much again. Skating, rides the tackle. The umpire was called, there was a fend off in there as well. No, you're right, Rivers, he has caught a high. Certainly caught him front on. Again, skating, his favourite contest is he's happy to go in teeth first. He has to.
Yeah, and this is where they're starting to fall down. They're really struggling to get this past centre half forward at the moment. You can see all the congregation at the moment pushing over the contest. The scatting goes long direct, goes down the line, Bun Punch behind, sitting perfectly was Tipper Woody McDonald. He's quickly taken without the ball, and he's going to get a free kick across half back. And they've called 50. Rory Hooper's picked up the ball after the whistle and kicked it forward, and unfortunately, rightly, has called that 50-metre penalty infringement. Tipper Woody McDonald is not the type of player if you're a Wentworth supporter wanting to have the ball in his hand kicking inside the attack of 50 either. He'll be able to pinpoint and thread the needle if he needs to. But at the moment, all 36 players are pushing back into the defensive 50 here.
So Imperials go to number 1. He's on centre square. 75 metres from home. Off one step, tries to set it up for his teammate Fox. Off the back of the pack, Jackson Penny drove that perfectly Get out of the tackle and around the corner, through the middle, 3 in a row for Imperials. Nicely done there, deep over from Jackson Penny. That's a proper Crummers goal, that is.
So it's a bit too much on the kick from McDonald to Woody. So floated over the Fox contest, but Jackson Penny it looked like he saw what was happening before everyone else. The team was just charging straight towards the ball and up with position exactly well.
They're just reactive at the moment in their defensive 50. Well, you've got pretty much 16 of the 18 players sitting inside the defensive 50, and yet most of the goals at the moment are coming virtually unchallenged.
It's Pioneer forward to Robin Barr first quarter. It sees Imperials leading 3-5-23 over Wentworth 1-2-8, and now a chance for Cottrell out of the centre of the ground, streaming forward, takes a bit off it, looking for Dawes on the lead. Handball to Sabubo, ordinary position for him, and he's worked it okay. Off hands of Hancock at the top of the square. Galbraith just gets a handball off in time. Brad Hards tries to evade the tackler, and he stacks on the middle, 25 metres out directly in front. The defenders where Wentworth look at their best when they're streaming forward.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Particularly when Jack Cottrell takes it like that.
Tap down by Burns. No big clearance. Here's the goal kicker in Penny. Outside of the boot, just trying to gain territory more than anything. Alex Douglas handball went back to Penny. As he gets the kick away, the first siren goes off the game, and Imperials, after conceding the first, they've got the last 3 off the game. 3-5-23, leading Wentworth by 15 points, 1-2-8 on the Coombe Club scoreboard. Vitrod, Michael Di Fabrizio, Ben Ridley, John Hollywood, and Max the Axe Hollingworth bringing you the action on Hot FM today, thanks to Colleen Tierney, First National Real Estate. We're going to get back to the studio, back on the other side of this, for the second term of action on your home of live local sport. So we might get back to you.
Andy Walden's 4 possessions.
Yep.
That's about right.
Koch to the 8.
Yeah, he started really well.
McDonald had 6.
Yep.
McKinnon had 1.
Yeah, pretty quiet, Geordie.
Tipper had 1.
Yeah, did he actually do that?
Yeah, he had that kick.
Yeah, just one, yeah.
I don't think it's much to do.
No, he didn't touch it.
And Hards had 2.
Brad Hards.
Yeah, Brad Hards.
Yeah, I don't think Brad had it.
Aaron Maxey had 5.
About the way he started on fire, then quite down there.
And Galbraith had 2.
Sounds about right, Maxie.
Yeah.
I'd say it's in the eye.
Yeah.
Should be counting his possessions.
It's a start.
Surely.
Yeah.
Oops, on my head.
Nope.
Punch along me.
Have you seen him go off?
Only when you told.
Alright, so you ready to come in the second half, Pepper? Just playing under the eye.
Brother can't.
Couldn't take the suburbs off and come in.
What's not to believe it?
In London. Look at his guys like that. Carry on. Did that tell him to shut up?
Free whenever you want to go.
Yeah, got one more after this, Mitch.
Easy.
So,
Oh, he just didn't understand it. He thought the old manager was still there.
Oh, still. Next Slammer next to you, the other two. Next Slammer and roller, you guys consider pretend to be the crowd and just your own microphone in the background. That's it, exactly that. Hey.
Rob off the back.
Yeah, I know.
It's kind of dead.
Yeah, just
I was going to get it to him yesterday, but we showed him.
I'll tell you, it's right in the box today, still cut.
Righto, 7 seconds, boys.
Thank you.
Absolutely killing it today. His moving's right when he goes sports it all, too. They've been really busy, to be honest. Too busy for the model.
It's called the time when your Hot FM match of the day, round 5 of the Sunraysia Football and Netball League. It is Imperials 3-5-23, leading Wentworth 1-2-8 in the grand final replay from last year. Coming to you live today from Ryan Waitman Oval. And for the first time today, our numbers man Max the Axe Hollingworth is on the line. Welcome, dear Maxie.
Thanks, Adam.
Always a pleasure to have you, mate. Let's start with Imperials. busy start to the first quarter.
Yeah, Aaron Lasky was fast starting that quarter. He had 5 possessions, 1 mark, 1 tackle, 2 inside 50s and 1 line.
Yeah, certainly a couple of big kicks out of the centre of the ground, heading forward there for them. Benny Galbraith has got the interesting matchup on Aaron Duck so far.
Yeah, Ben Galbraith was solid with 2 possessions.
What about Brad Hards? He's certainly running hard at the moment, but maybe not quite as many numbers.
Yeah, he was a bit quieter. He had 2 possessions, 1 mark and 1 inside 50.
And we saw Anthony McDonald tip with Woody with that late 50-metre penalty. But that's really the only possession he's had for the match so far.
Yes, that is.
All right, now let's have a look at Wentworth. Being busy as Jack Cottrell, certainly in fine form early.
Yeah, he was superb. He had 8 possessions, 1 mark and 2 inside 50s.
Beautiful. What about Blake McDonald, his partner in crime in the middle?
Blake McDonald was solid with 6 possessions, 2 marks, 1 inside 50 and behind.
Andy Wall, the skipper, who's had his hands full with Luke Hickey in the first quarter.
Yeah, he had 4 possessions, 1 mark.
And what about Jordan McKinnon, who was one of our best on the ground last week?
He is a bit quieter with just the 1 possession.
Beautiful, lovely work there, Max. He's solid as always here on Hot FM. We might go down now to our man on the boundary for the Houston Club Resort, John Hollywood, who's been out at the Wentworth huddle. What did Ben McLean have to say to the troops?
Canberra, I try to stick through the socials and go and watch a wide replay and go home. But I've got to do the socials for this. I've got to try and catch up and see it.
It's the hardest part.
They do spoilers. They normally post it for time sort of schools.
But just sort of as you were speaking, Johnny, he spent a bit of extra time with Aaron Duck, and you can see his arms moving around in terms of telling him, I think, where to go and what sort of running patterns he takes. So you can just see he's got that impact and that aura within the team already. Thank you very much, Johnny. DFAB, some of your better players for Imperials in that first quarter?
I think I thought Luke Hickey with his I think in tough matchups with a few more. It was there. So when I a couple of goals, so that's
Yeah, look, we were certainly talking about Andy Wall down the back there. Jack Cottrell had a heap of it. He was playing really well. Blaine Krill started to get into the games late in the second half of that first quarter.
The Sirens go on here for the second quarter of action. Brian Waitman over, brought to you by the team at the Houston Club Resort. Jaden Fox, long kick down the line for him. Really strong mark.
He's now taking the part at the moment. The young fella in Scorn. Balance is just getting way too weak.
It's a great kick too.
Yeah, great kick.
Beautifully weighted over the top for Alex Douglas. Went over 4 Wentworth defenders and made it perfectly into the right forward block, going to the Eddie Wonder Avenue end of BWO. That was a good consistent before by Alex Douglas.
Yeah, I'd be looking to move Blaine Grills up. That's beautiful. Looking kick off the boot and hits the post.
Just the tail away on last second.
But I'd be getting Blaine Grills onto Balance. He's a bit more of a like-for-like body type, but you're also going to have Balance who's going to try and push up the ground, which means if you can get that from behind run and carry, you'll be able to explore him a little bit and be able to run off him as well.
I wonder if Reece Hutch could also be an option there as well. I mean, they obviously like him to play free, but they also like Grills to play free, so it's possible.
I don't mind the idea of getting Grills a bit in a position where he's having to move further up the ground because he's usually going the other way in most positions.
Little kick out of the pack as Campbell Davison tries to run. They follow the ball towards the boundary. He's met by Simon Callahan coming the other direction. Out of bounds in between the interchange gates. Just over a minute and a half gone in this second term. 3-6-24 Imperials leading Wentworth 1-2-8 on the Coomiella Club scoreboard. Jensen tries to take up the ruck, but it's now for Lasky. Handball out. Once Jackson Penny, who's made a good start to this game. That kick down the line wasn't his best. Taken by Blaine Grills.
Douglas didn't come over the top there. He really had the opportunity to really punch him and make him earn it. So short kick. Grills, he's had it touched off the boot. The reigning McLeod medalist in Bryce Hards. The ball spills out further back there. It's to James O'Hare. He goes to the top of the 50, front position, taken by Andy Wall. Andy Wall runs over the top of the ball there. Just a bad bounce, but he's able to recover it. Slaps it forward in the centre of the ground. It's cut off by McDonald Tippermoody. Handball, nice and softly forward, looking for a direct teammate in McHugh. Spills it up. Carter from Wentworth kicks forward, top of 50. Good use of the body. Nearly tunnelling there was Wade Hancock, and beaten out of the contest there by Simon Callahan, who clears it into our countryside wing.
Bryce Hards takes the mark, going back to the flight. Wheels and goes. Right half forward here for Imperials, going back to the flight as much. He left it behind. Handballs with the handball. Check side coming from Lane McHugh. Wasn't a great decision in the end.
He had in front, he had Fox all by himself at the top of the screen.
But it looks like Much was running with balance there, deep. Maybe a little bit of extra height need to catch up.
It's interesting to see just at the moment what Wentworth are trying to do. It's very much a one-on-one game here. As we see the ball tossed up, 20 metres out, punched down directly, looking for Scorn. Scorn tries to run through, quickly tacked up there by Douglas. Douglas gets the ball out, and again there's going to be another ball up 35 metres out. It's just on a slight angle.
John Hollywood. So kick down the line here for Wentworth. No real attempt from either side. And it's going to be a high shot. It's going to be given to... It's going to come back to Simon Callahan. I believe he's not kicked it away, but Callahan against Trav Dawes.
It's an intriguing game, isn't it? It's as if both sides are sort of waiting for the weather to go and collect the footy at the moment. They're waiting to tackle on the way out. It's an intriguing tempo that they're both playing at.
Callahan, short kick inside. It's dangerous, but it works. Finds Ricky Scott. Shoot down the line. Spoiled away by Dawes. Nice work by the big man. He just gets the kick forward into space more than anything. Well read by Ben Galbraith. Just takes off. Big bump at the right time. Came from Cottrell. Set it back the other way. It's hard to get through from everyone there at the moment.
Curran surely hasn't got.
He certainly doesn't. The free kick is going to go his way.
They're starting to bully them at the moment, Imperials. They're certainly the down just below waist height, quickly plays on, gets to 55, goes inside to the top of the corridor, diving in from behind. Wentworth got players on hands and knees. There's going to be a ball up, and they're going to be happy with this result. It's only going to be 25 metres out directly in front.
Maybe McDonald was the last man over the back who just couldn't quite take it underneath. But it's 25 metres out, pretty much directly in front for Wentworth, left of your radio dial.
Holding up really well at the moment, Imperials. At the moment, Wentworth sitting behind the ball trying to restructure at the top of the 50 to stop that ball from coming out.
Dawes tapped down, back there for Imperials with Scott, who just gets kicked away as he's tackled. That's a really good mark taken by Cam Davison. Just awkward. Deep into the pocket, a well-weighted pass. Finds Wade Hancock.
Johnny, was he over? That's right on the boundary. As he's sitting there at the moment, giving the girls in the tent a very good look at the moment of their behind on Wade Hancock. Yeah, there'd be a fair bit of lip going on there at the moment. Champagne flowing. They can start to just give it out there a little bit to.
Don't think it would exactly be a balanced audience coming through. That's fine.
See Hancock, he's kicking right tightly on the boundary. Can he make it right to left work? Goes across the face. A really good effort in the end. It's a behind, but. We're getting confident those girls in the tent already. They might put away Hancock off there a little bit.
No goals to speak of in this second term so far. 1-3-9 for Wentworth, 3-6-24 for Imperials. And Imp's defensive structure is holding up really well at the moment, DFAB.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Was that another? This is not a 50. This is 100. Oh, what is going on? So as we see, Ryan Hards, he quickly plays onto the left boot, goes to centre half forward. It looks like it was cut off quickly, taken by O'Hare nicely. He gives it back to Ryan Hards on the right boot, goes to the top of the 50, looking for Hickey. Hickey and Valance have got a couple to beat. Ball spills to ground out to Spupo of Wentworth. Hurried kick, lands in their hands. Looks like, oh, whoa! That was a massive jump from behind coming in there from Lane McHugh. So on centre wing here, ball's in dispute. Big Travis just barges his way through, punching out nicely with Blake McDonald, just trying to move the ball forward as it runs over the boundary line right in front of the Imperials' tent. San Matteo end here, still 60 metres out from the home goal for the Winnie Roos. And they've just got to try and find an avenue here, slow the ball down and start picking out some players. They've got to get in front of their opponent to try and give themselves some easy possession.
Card up with a quick kick inside 50. Bounce goes over the top of Cottrell, but he gets the handball from Dawes. Keeps his feet. He just couldn't get the check side he wanted. Out of bounds on the full in the left forward pocket there for the vice captain. Wentworth almost gained about 50 metres of territory there deep by either fisting the ball forward or using their chest. It's a pretty unusual method of moving it forward.
But they're rush possessions, aren't they? They're certainly not getting any easy position at the moment, the Roos. And DFAB, it's probably that one-on-one style. They're nearly bringing that contested footy to themselves because of that one-on-one style. They really need to try and separate themselves and just get a little bit of width across the ground to be able to try and open up some play.
And start wearing one glove like Jackson Penny there, just I think Jackson had more space.
Yep. There's a chance here with the turnover in defence. It was Penny's kick that didn't quite hit the mark. Chance for Hancock around the corner. And he's just put it to the near side as he's bumped as he kicked it. They scrambled and they did enough there. It's to affect the kick. 1-4-10 for Wentworth. 3-6-24 for the Green Machine. 14 points ahead. About 9 minutes gone in this second term. Brings it outside a defensive 50. Off hands. Comes backwards here for Sean. One up by big Riley Burns at the smother. Followed up here by Archie Latore. Little kick inside 50 from Hooper. It may work. Pitches in front of the leading player. I think McKinnon was the last man wrapped up there by Anthony McDonald, tipping Woody. Ball up just inside 50, not wasting time. Dawes with the tap down. Upper current at the back of the pack. Now Brad Hards again, just sharking it forward. Archie Latore, one step kick. Did well off the half volley and it's hit the post. A couple of minor scores in a row here for Wentworth. 1-5-11. Imperials 3-6-24 on the Premier Club scoreboard. John Hollywood on the boundary for the Houston Club Resort. Where do you think Wentworth can try and find a way breaking through and get that much needed goal?
Oh, that's a shocking kick from Brendan Scott on the last line of defence, wasn't it? So it's going to be a free kick inside the attacking 50 here to Wentworth as Regan Scott tried to send the ball across the middle and very acute it was. In fact, it was uncute and went out of bounds on the full. So
a little bit ugly, you'd say.
A little bit ugly, you would say, as we see Archie Latore, who just missed that goal earlier on. He's going to be kicking right on the boundary line here. As he looks to give it a little bit of right to left again, he lets it go to the top of the square, and a great mark taken over the back there by the big ruckman in Riley Burns.
Burns, that's one thing he's done really well in the last couple of years, isn't it, DFAB, as he works back in to help his defence.
Absolutely, that one was invaluable kick. Just was the territory only, I think.
Ruckman's kick, it's okay, it works out.
Out of bounds on the full again.
Might have been, yeah.
He has gained a little bit of extra territory, so in the end, it's going to come back from where it came through much. Who puts it to the top of the 50.
Just wasting this going forward.
Off the hands of Dawes. Curran coming in at ground level, he's taken down immediately.
It's what you were talking about, Johnny, is that composure. They've got to start looking for those options rather than just blazing away and hoping something's going to happen inside the attacking 50.
Imperials trying to clear it out of defence. Bounce might work here for Marcus Grogan. To Grogan on the run. Right foot kick to half forward. Chaos ball may work, but numbers are with the Roos. Grills. Handballs with Archie gets it back again. Now switches play. This might work a bit better. Here's James Sutton. First time we've really seen him today. Comes back inside. That's a nice kick for Davison. Trying to create something. Well, it's like Woody thought he played on Umpire says.
He nearly has about 3 times as he goes short. Beautiful looking kick. He finds Travis Dawes. So Travis Dawes, who marks it, 45. He's going to be kicking right on 50. Only on a slight angle. But he's not looking confident. He's looking to pass it off at the moment. I'd be sitting there just telling him he's got Blaine Grills, as you said, on his left side, sitting there. Use him.
Oh, he's not going to. He's going to go himself. Reputation, it looks pretty good off the boot.
Oh,
carried
everybody. Oh, wow.
Down the doors at your peril, Ben Ridley. It was a big shepherd on the last line of defence. I'm not sure who it was to clean up Riley Burns, but he absolutely expertly timed it. And Trav Dawes puts one
Ben
through
Dawes broke through knocked out there. But as you said, Travis Dawes has got an ugly looking kick, kicks it right at the top of the 50. It's virtually bowled them all over. They've tripped over themselves and it's gone over the back for a Stephen Bradbury and just gone straight through. But it was interesting. He was really nervous looking to go inside there and try and kick it. He virtually looked like he was going to pass it. He was going to kick it. He didn't know what he was going to do, so I think he just rushed it. Got it there.
We look at the scoreboard from Sunraysia 10 pin there to show all the pins.
2-5-17 for the Roos, 3-6-24 Imperials.
Could be the start they need, Richie. They needed something to go their way. As the ball goes up in the centre of the ground, punched forward. It was a free kick who goes against the opposing ruckman for Wentworth. Lou Kicky's going to get the free kick straight out of the square. So what's he look to do is go straight down the middle, top of the 50. He's looking for a leading player, but beats them all. Ball spills over the back. Drills from Wentworth. Gives an errant handball. Finds, looks like that is Scatting. The ball spills back, Sutton. So Sutton to Parker. Parker looks to go inside the corridor. Nice looking kick. He finds a teammate in McDonald. He's got a player in the centre of the ground if he wants. It's Grills. It's on his favourite side. He has a horrid looking kick that somehow works to Rory Hooper on the wing. He's going to have to try and make something work as he does. It's a big kick towards the top of the 50. Doors over the back again. Ball spills over and lands in the lap of Gale Drake with a clearing kick on centre wing. Finds a
Great tackle.
Tackled immediately there was McHugh. Has he been caught holding the ball?
No, he hasn't.
No.
No, Jaden Fox runs away, takes a couple of bounces, handballs to a free whistle, I think, for a downfield free afterwards. So the umpire immediately said it was a handball and called it, but I don't think Wentworth necessarily agreed with it. And meanwhile, Jaden Fox has now been given downfield, and I think 50-metre penalty has gone with it. So we would take a set shot on the right forward flank, be about 48 metres out deep by the time he kicks it.
Shame, he was on a good run with Fox, but he'll have to do it the conventional way now.
Jaden Fox,
We're all here, boys.
been a really good couple of seasons for the Flying Fox. That one's tongued across the face though and through for a minus score.
Johnny, that was right in front of you, mate. What did you make of it? Well, you might as well.
You've intimated it already.
Oh, what? No way. Oh, that is a disgrace.
That's very interesting, that decision there. Thanks, Johnny, for giving us the update from Houston Club Resort. Meanwhile, in front of our commentary position now, Archie Torre receives a free kick. Goes short to half the current. Dangerous.
Down, boys.
Douglas cuts it off, goes to half forward, but again he's wasted his kick a bit. Scatting couldn't keep his feet. Jaden Fox takes a couple of ounces, running towards goal, and he's put it to the near side. He had the handball over the top in Lasky, but Wall did a really good job there, but just putting enough doubt in his mind that he couldn't flick the handball over.
Yeah, that's right. He really did a good job of separating himself from the defenders there. His pace was
electric, isn't it?
sensational, but it was almost like he shot a goal with too much pace in his legs that he didn't slow down enough to just straighten up and keep it up.
Imperials 3-8-26 now. They're leading Wentworth by 9 points. 5-17 on the Kumula Club scoreboard. Sapubo, short kick across his own defence.
Scatting's been here by himself for 30 minutes. He's less to go, doesn't he?
A bit longer down the line.
Further down the line.
Towards the target, off hands. Off the mush of Archie Latoro, but it's worked because it's gone down to McDonald. Cottrell, handball over the top, they're running in waves now. Carter, back to McDonald. He's got Hancock short. He's caught in 2 lines. Hancock's lead was probably too short in the end, and here's a chance for Imperials to go the other way through Colby Hards. Missed the kick, however. Xavier Latoro, one step towards the top of the square, off the fingernails of Hancock and Galbraith and through for a minor score. But again, Dave, that indecision going inside 50, but I also think that Hancock, maybe he made a scene of kicking it to him, but he was probably actually too close in the end.
And had 2 grand jumpers around him as well, so a very hard contest to win.
It's hard. He's looking to clear further wide. Finds Regan Scott. So Regan Scott just happy to slow the ball down. Goes short, looking for a teammate. Finds Hickey on centre wing, 11th Street side of the oval. He's happy just to wait for someone to present to him. He finds the other big man in Burns. Burns gives it off to a running player. Looks like it's Bryce Haas. Bryce Haas with a beautiful kick going forward. Finds a teammate in Penny. Penny gets immediately locked up right at the top of the 50. And a good result there for the Wentworth defenders, because Imperials had a couple of players out behind there that they would have been able to get the ball out too. So just inside the attacking 50 Imperials, then we're going to see the ball up.
Well, first touches for Cooper Whiteball for the season in that passage of play as well, as of course just bundled back over the boundary line there by Cooper Penny. Really like Jackson Penny's first half. Rivers he's been quite composed, but he's also for a wing, he's happy to touch the tough stuff when it comes his way.
He's a big size too. I mean, he'd be every bit of 6'2". So as we see the ball thrown in inside the attacking 50 Imperials end, roved beautifully, hurried kick going forward, lands into the defender of Sutton. Sutton quickly plays on towards the commentary side looking for Harper Curran, but Harper Curran was happy to just see that ball go over the line. Probably could have taken that and actually accelerated off the line there.
Which is probably clever, I think, in the end, because he had Jackson Penny on his hammer, so happy to see it across the line, but probably a goal assist saving tackle before DFAB from Tom Sabumo out of that contest.
Yeah, no, he's always present in those dangerous situations.
Riley Burns, the big shove out of the ruck contest.
Straight to balance.
Comes across to balance. Probably like he didn't give away in the back there was Cottrell. Buys let go. It's going to be a boundary throw in right on the 50-metre arc, right half forward for the Imperials, heading to the Eddie Wanda Avenue end, the right of your radio dial here on 106.7 Hot FM, your home of football in Sunraysia. Mitch Rod, Ben Ridley, Michael D. Fabrizio, John Hollywood, and Max Hollywood bringing you the action today.
The big fellas go, taps from behind, looking for a running Lasky. Lasky runs over the top of the Cottrell with a quick handball out, only finds Penny. Penny immediately wraps up, and it's actually a piggyback that he's got going on here. Takes Tristan Parker.
So that's one way I would have hunched up on my
I don't know where we're going with that one, but I'm going to let it all go with Mitchy as we see. Big Duck taps it forward, gets it off to Campbell. Davison, so Davison looking for Harper Curran. Harper Curran beaten to the contest there, allows Douglas to be able to look for someone inside 50. Gets a teammate running towards it in Bryce Hards. He tries to evade three tacklers. Handballs the ball forward, lands in the hands of Harper Curran. He's got to get rid of it quickly. Goes to the centre of the ground and only finds Regan Scott all by himself.
There's only three Imperials players there. He goes across 50. G. Jackson Penny left that behind. He's probably very lucky he's taken it high in the end. Goes deep. Grogan, the big target. Thumped away there by Andy Wall. In fact, gains about 25 metres of territory. And bounds in the left forward pocket. I think the thing at the moment, DFAB, is with Wentworth putting the extra numbers behind the footy, Curran literally just had no one to kick to in that scenario.
No, so it's sort of just been darting back and forth between about the centre, just inside the centre square and the forward 50, without a lot of penetration beyond that.
I think Wentworth will be happy over that they haven't conceded a goal to Imperials so far in this quarter.
They're not close to the contest. If you're going to play loose, at least sit 10 metres out behind the contest and get in front of the other player. Imperials have four blokes sitting behind the contest all by themselves at the minute.
Along the top of the 50, in the end, Andy Wall was him in daylight, really. He was going for that footy. Took it uncontested, quick kick over the top for James Sutton. Made a real difference in this Wentworth side last year, coming out of Broken Hill.
Great go.
It was off the Davison. G turn. Only just stayed inside the boundary line. In fact, I don't think he did.
That's unlucky.
No, it looked like he might have gone across the boundary line, and umpire Lee Payne was all over that one.
Both feet were over the line. He had held the footy out sort of in front of him, but didn't look at it. He pulled it back inside, so I think they got caught.
It was kind of just off his chest. It wasn't inside the line.
And just quickly for our listeners, the Imperials are just covering the centre corridor at the moment. They've got a few players loose, so if the ball happens to get a quick switch, it's going to be able to go into the middle of the ground, virtually unattended to by the green machine.
Chaos ball inside 50 from Riley Burns might work. That Alex Douglas just gets a kick away in time. Well done there by McDonald down the line, over the top of the pack. Off hands, McKinnon's there, so is Scott, who does well to miss the first tackle. Taken in the second, right in front of our commentary position on the 12th Street flank, and we'll get Angola.
So in the middle of the ground at the moment, you've got Gale Braithwaite going to get ground. Further back, you've also got, looks like Whitelaw, as we see Burns try to win the ruck. He taps it back only as far as McDonald. McDonald gets a quick kick forward, gets the old 1-2, but again, under pressure, just kicks one down the line, coming in to make a really strong contest with Travis Dawes. He was taken from behind. So the quick ball, moved forward by Jordan McKinnon.
That's unlucky.
Oh, gee whiz, it's not going their way at the moment with the calls.
It's really well done by Dawes in the 2-on-1 as well. So deserved a bit more reward than just a short chip inside the centre square.
He goes inside now to McDonald, who's had a few touches in the last few minutes, switches flanks.
This is better. Find your space.
Blaine Grills, man, I love having the ball in his hands. Down the line, good spoil away from Duck. Nicely done by Ben Galbraith. Races against Rory Hooper, who's happy to send it across the boundary line. We're going to throw in right half forward.
That was much better, Johnny, just trying to spread the ground there and then look for those little options inside forward where they can find space. But if they're hurrying the ball just down the line, they're kicking straight into the contest. If they can start to spread the ground and actually just slow it down and find that space, they're going to find more avenues. What are your thoughts?
Well, he's right on cue as Cottrell, who just puts it to the near side. There's a little bit of work there from Harper Curran in a one-on-one with Anthony McDonald, Tim and Woody.
Did really well inside with his one-on-one. Just good body work to be able, especially like a soccer player, who was just protecting their body, just pushing the elbows back and keeping that ball in front of him. But it was a really smart body use there against a very experienced ex-AFL superstar.
Bit of that bit smart in the ruck by Jensen, who just tapped it over his left shoulder to Carter, who was running by. So very nice work.
The kick out of defence there from McDonald, Tip and Woody's going straight into the lap of Jack Cottrell. He's going to be about 55 metres out by the time he takes his kick. He's backing himself in though. I reckon he's probably got the journey if he nails it.
Yeah, I reckon you're right. He's coming in 55 metres out. He's given it everything. He's actually punched it beautifully. Has he hit it? He's hit it, Jack Cottrell. And he's absolutely smashed it. That was the one word they were looking for. Gets them within 1 point. It's amazing that they're still within this game, the way that they've been executing their kicks. But I'll tell you what, that's the best kick of the day by an absolute mile.
John Hollywood on the boundary for the Houston Club resort. It never looked like it went more than about 6 feet off the ground, that kick, but it absolutely flew like a tracer bullet.
And,
That's it.
Bloody frustrating, all right.
Well, it's back to only 1 point in the margin. 3-7-25, plays 3-8-26 as McDonald goes inside 50 again. Might work for Hancock, who round off the back of the pack is going to take the mark inside the goal square. And after what Riddles has been saying, D-Fab, all of a sudden Wentworth's going to hit the front within a minute.
It's incredible.
Those centre clearances, like we saw Cottrell earlier, like they've just got the ability to really just run it out very, very quickly and just get it forward. And that's what's happened here.
And it's an open goal there from Wade Hancock. And I'll tell you what, once they start to get a little bit of space and they're getting away from their direct opponent, they're able to execute, use the ball cleanly. And once they can get that decision making correct, get that little bit of width and separation from their direct opponent, they can use it quickly, they can use it smartly, and they can get a player loose and free. And I'll tell you what, boys, 2 goals in the space of a minute. They are up and about, which is just hard to comprehend after what we've seen in the first half already.
Deco, thanks to our man Max the Axe Hollingworth. 14 disposals so far from Blake McDonald, but in this quarter 8, all from kicks. And I reckon that's making a difference. His ability to kick it forward.
And yeah, the Roos will be very happy at having soaked up the pressure without conceding a goal, and then to get a couple back the other way. He'll be very happy with that.
Leading by 5 points at this stage in the game. We've gone about 25 minutes in the second term thanks to the Houston Club Resort. Can't be too long left before this half-time siren. As we said, 5-point lead, which is a great result for them. No goals for Imperials in this tournament. When you go forward again through Carter, off hands McKinnon, couldn't quite gain possession. And at half forward will be taken down. We'll have a stay. 65
This is the position that they needed. 55 metres out directly in front of their attacking goal. The 2 big fellas go up for it. A nice little tap forward from Jensen, only as far as Bryce Hard. Ball spills back, going in hard was Jack Carter. He gets a free kick for over the shoulder. He's only 2'3". He gives it off to a running teammate in Reece Mutch, who gives it a wobbly, bouncing ball going forward. Lands comfortably in the chest of McDonald, Tip and Woody, who clears to the outside. As we hear the siren, Mitchie, the second quarter siren, and what an actual turn of events there from Wentworth. Just that last 5 minutes that Coach Benny McGlynn will be very, very comfortable with. But I'll tell you what, we've seen a very, very intriguing and a nice game.
I want to go in and listen to half time.
Well, it's an entertaining first half nonetheless. 4-7-31 for Wentworth with 2 goals within the last couple of minutes, putting them in front in this one. Leading Imperials 3-8-26. Of course, it is the grand final replay here on FM in round 5 of the Sunraysia Football and Netball League. Thanks to Collie and Tierney First National Real Estate. We'll be back on the other side of this break for our half-time wrap. Don't go anywhere. This is your home of live local sport in Sunraysia, 106.7 Hot FM.
So if you come back and you do your
What do you got there?
maybe just sneak
What's
through
that?
some. We've got a couple of
Yeah.
activities like song two for
Dad made it for me.
Yeah, just do a couple of spots where you
Yeah.
start.
I haven't eaten since breakfast because I play at
Just do a
5
couple of spots
o'clock.
and things like
So it's really awkward because
Yeah,
I can't
we've
eat
got
my
five.
game.
Yeah.
And like, then I've got to run up
2
here,
minutes.
so.
It's done alright for you.
I know. Doesn't well.
How's this Andy Wall with 1%?
Maybe give man another handball.
Much better than up here.
Jack Cox with 5 possessions.
Yep.
But then none of
Yeah, I
their
agree with that.
possessions.
100% okay.
Yeah, that's just
Yeah, I don't know.
unless you line off to him, and he's
He
a
has
good
3.
player.
Who's that?
I just sent a text to Will saying that when you're playing there's no respect for a young kid or anyone.
Yeah.
The best
Bloody go.
Tipper had 3
Sounds
possessions.
about right.
Cards had 2.
Yep.
Lasky had 1.
Yeah.
And Galbraith had 1.
Sounds about right.
Let's see what's going on out there.
CJ, I'll do stats here with Maxie first.
Alright.
Then Riddles jump in his squad.
Yep.
And then I'll sort of introduce and talk, and if you, Riddles and Deep want to chat, you three go. And then I'll grab back off you afterwards and sting this.
Right, so we've got 2 more to go.
So I like that, Paddy. I'll sort of intro back in, do Max's numbers,
Yep.
Riddles can come back in, and then once he's done, I'll get joined on my mic, and then
Okay.
let these three
Yeah,
talk.
and then you can come back in to send it off.
Showdown. Yeah, it's a showdown tonight, isn't it?
I was at the show in 2022 in Dawson giving on after the
Oh,
song.
were you?
Yeah, because I was at MRD at the time. I was there with Brett Millington. We were in one of the boxes
Oh, were
up
you?
there. It was like, this is incredible.
Yeah, right.
I wasn't going to say that before Adelaide.
Last 30 on now.
Thank you.
Last is mine at Port and Hawks up at Ripper.
Which one, sorry?
Yeah, Port Hawks. The second. The
Oh,
one
yeah.
when Sicily used to. Yeah, that was so good. I've never heard a crowd so loud when Sicily missed that.
5 seconds.
Thank you. Cracking first half, we've already seen here on 106.7 Hot FM in your match of the day for round 5 of the Sunraysia Football and Netball League. It's Wentworth 4-7-31 beating the Imperials 3-8-26 at the long break. All the Brews, 2 goals for Wade Hancock, singles to Trav Dawes and to Jack Cottrell. Cottrell's last one was the one that put them in front. The Imperials, all 3 of their goals coming in the opening term. Great balance with 2 and a single for Jackson as well. Before we get off with Fabrizio, John Hollywood has been really good run through the first half. Max Diactonworth is back on with us now. Maxi, let's have a look at some numbers. Jack Cottrell and Blake McDonald, they were both on fire in that term.
Yes, Jack Cox with 5 possessions, 1 mark and 1 goal.
What about McDonald? He was very impressive.
Yeah, McDonald was 5, he had 8 possessions, 2 marks, 2 interceptions.
And Wall against Stella down in defence.
Yeah, he had 2 possessions and a mark.
And Jordan McKinnon has been a lot quieter in this first half than what we anticipated.
Yeah, that 14 said 1 tackle.
Boys, Aaron Lasky was off to a good start, but then really quiet again after about halfway through the first quarter.
Yeah, Aaron Max did 1 possession tackle.
Certainly was quarter one for him. Anthony McDonald, Tim Woody playing at half track.
He was sold back with 3 possessions, 2 marks, 1 tackle.
Wayne Hards again, another one who would have thought maybe would have had more of his lead, but not the case.
Yeah, he had 2 possessions and 1 mark.
Ben Galbraith, another one in the same boat.
Yeah, he was a bit quiet, he just 1 possession.
Beautiful, love your work there. Maxi will come back to you at 3-quarter time as we're going to bring Bentley back in alongside Michael D. from Bridge. But DFAB, as we said, Wentworth, a couple of great goals that put them in front there and maybe sort of potentially didn't deserve it. But, I mean, if you're in front of the scoreboard, you deserve it.
Well, I think it's a reward for, you know, and they didn't concede a goal, and it's credit to the
I think that's how we got here. I think it's just it's nice for a close half-time score in the second half.
Oh, look, I think we always knew that it was going to be a really close and tough contest. The weird one at the moment is Wentworth seem to have the numbers around the football, but they don't really have anyone who's going to get the football at this point. So it's as if they're sitting there waiting and looking at each other going, are you getting it? Am I getting it? Who's getting it? And then what ends up happening is when the ball gets cleared out, Imperials have numbers 10 metres behind the contest, whether it's going backwards or forwards, and then all of a sudden they've got 3 or 4 players joining that they can be able to get that run and gun and carry. But the other thing too is when Wentworth actually slow that game down, start to use the corridor, start to look for the switch, and actually start to spread a little bit wider across the ground. What we saw against Mildura for Imperials, that's where it just became that little bit of an Achilles heel. And I think as we started to see that second quarter roll through to that second half of the second quarter, they started to spread the ground a little bit, which enabled them to be able to move the ball quicker because they had more space and time.
Leg speed wasn't one of the questions from Wentworth coming into this game. We weren't worried about the leg speed. I was worried about the height, not the leg speed. The leg speed is fine. Look, these are the words I've wrote down. Composure, integrity, poise, confidence. They're probably almost the same word, aren't they? In some respect. I put them in the same sentence already. And they're in front of the scoreboard. Do these guys know they can win this game?
Well, it's strange. It's strange, and I'll be interested to get your thoughts down on the ground. It feels very stagnant, still. Like it's nearly as if there's no air in the game. Like it just feels odd.
It's a funny one to tell you the truth. It really is. Like Imps played very, very well in practice and probably haven't got the justice they deserve. They probably should be 8-3, not 3-8. So that would be their case. There's some of the chances they missed. They shouldn't have, that sort of stuff. Wentworth to me are lacking confidence. Integrity, like hard blokes aren't going to the ball. They're waiting for the other bloke to go to the ball, as you said, and or the other person from the other side to go to the ball so we can attack and not go and get it. You notice the difference when someone like Campbell Davison gets around the footy. Campbell doesn't want anyone else to get it. He wants to get himself. It's chucked in the middle. Exactly. There's a difference. Those blokes aren't waiting for someone else to take the game on. They want to get the game and control it. Once I've got the ball, I hold it up.
Well, the other thing too is once you start winning that contested ball, so you start getting Jack Carter, you start getting Campbell Davison, Harvey Curran and these guys, if they can win that ball, that contested footy, they've got the numbers around the play, then all of a sudden Imps don't have the ability to be able to play loose behind the contest or in front of the contest. They've got to come in and try and put the body on the contest to stop that first handball, being used, linking up, getting a nice run and carry. And we started to see a little bit of that when Jack Carter would get the ball out to a Blake McDonald or Reece Much, and then they could get that ball driving forward. And then it also allowed Wade Hancock to be one out, or Trevor Stores to be able to run back and create a contest, and it just gave them a better look goal without having that increased pressure or the ferocity around the contest.
I haven't seen them yet. Obviously, I picked them to win. I really realised what I thought they could win. They didn't happen to win. Obviously, got a room for that. If it was 3 goals, obviously well. And the biggest thing about getting out of Wentworth is speaking to them over the last 6 weeks is Gareth Randall's gone down.
Speaking like Swahili, me, I don't know.
Thinking, hang on a minute, I looked at where's he's not there, but who's missing Roosters? Fontaine. He's the ultimate big man defender that takes the monster forward. So there's 1-1, you're out. So there we are, we're back to a game now. That's why I said today on the radio, I tipped him to win it. I didn't think he'd going to be much of a mark. I was thinking he's going to win on so far. Wentworth to me can go all the way.
I feel like when I went and watched the if they had just the live stats, I reckon that got it before. Not complex, but just reference to maybe some points that we come through. Or like,
well, it's
kind of similar to like the AFL commentary, relying on the stats and stuff, but I think it's here.
at the moment, it's looking for that body position too much. Instead of just using something going, rather than looking for the body history stuff. And I think at the moment, what they're doing is they're turning around just really as if they're waiting. We're talking about size.
Exactly right,
So this is the frustrating part, is you're sitting there going, scratching there, into
both me and everyone's got one book, and they had like 3 different, and then they've got the phone, they keep refreshing as well, just to get the numbers.
We just need to make sure.
Sometimes the extra things can work, but sometimes it's also too much. Exactly. And you're like, if you're focusing on the numbers.
Blake McDonald versus the Imperials, Jack Cottrell.
I think they've done the professional
Had
lead.
little moments where I guess the indecision not factoring into it all. They're just playing It's about crowding that model.
That's exactly what it is. Play to your instincts. These blokes have all played since they were kids. Play to your instincts. Play what you should do. They're just, there's uncertainty in the camp, and I don't know why. After last week's win, keeping our own with 3 goals at the
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Well, Coach, is that what happens in the interims at the moment? For the second half, is there much change?
Well, I'd be worried. Only worried because I thought I controlled 70% of the game. I should be winning the game. I was just talking about that. Hey, let's finish this game off. Foxy, yep, let's get 7-6, not 6-7, whatever it may be option-wise regards to points. We've just got to tighten things up in regards to going forward. Some of the stuff they've done looks fantastic. They're well structured, they know what they're doing. They're going to the big tall targets. They've got plenty of numbers. I can't believe it's in front of us.
It's hard to believe what's what are you able to do that? You're being pleased, sorry. What happens in the second half?
Well, I think he's probably just a very in that confidence, like you say. Hey, we're in front, and we can play better. So, I think they're a bit more teamed out, just reinforcing.
Do you think it almost does this negative? Not there, I don't know. Just us seeing it differently than what's actually happening.
Well, do you know the funny thing is that no one bench before got in? Now you would be sitting there as your host essentially, and just sitting there saying, oh, things aren't always going exactly to plan. But that's right.
Look, I'd love to be his shoes, coach.
Yep.
Because all I thought was still in the you can find that right if he's lived in a I'd walk into that room and I'd stand him up. I'd literally stand him up and go, right, who's leading on the score? What are we doing? Go back in, have some sit up, play, play with the structures we talked about, all that sort of stuff. What I want to see is the football is show where the football is meant to be.
That's probably, that's 2 more weeks,
Yeah,
it just seems as though they're not playing.
Yeah, she just went
And that's the part that we're looking for. We could have seen it over the last
social media now.
and then physically. Yes. There was no one.
You've got 6'2" blokes who can run about 10 yards every ball. You're clearly really like. And you were a great runner. So these guys are talented athletes. No, but they're natural footballers too. And I think that's what he wants to do. Yeah, together. Exactly. Now before I go, I've got to bet for money. That umpire decision, guys, he's pointing to the bench. There was someone behind the bench in the middle of the next to me that said, oh, it's a silly bloody decision.
That's fascinating.
And I just asked me at half time, and he didn't want to talk about it. He said, I don't know, John.
There's a goal based on it. But I mean, if you're sitting there and you're an umpire, I mean, I'm expecting you to go and get some good case on someone. But to sit there and penalise whatever's happening on the ground, that's scary. That's really the only thing that you think.
I don't think they were improved because my house yeah, I thought there was a lot there. The players aren't the players are playing going back home.
Yeah, already for a while. And so this is the part of it. This is the part where you sit there and go, if they even
one of the senior players
on the bench, who cares? Because you may get that wrong, that's what you said. So then you're sitting there and you're saying, you're watching over at anyone in that vicinity, that it could have been any one of those two. It's a very bizarre decision.
Oh, yeah. It was as we head back to the other side of our half-time wrap. It's Wentworth leading 4-7-31. Imperials at 3-8-26 of the Coombe Club scoreboard. And around the grounds, Robinvale Euston at half-time are leading Owen United at 6-8-44 to 4-7-31. Oracle still a couple of points ahead of Mildura at Hensham Oval, 4-4-28, leading the D's 4-1 at 25. And out at Keene Park, Merbean 6-4-40, leading South Mildura 4-4-28 out there as well. We're going to head back to the studio for a few more messages and be back for a massive second half of action on the other side of this on 106.7 Hot FM.
Merbean wins this. If Merbean wins this, I don't know what happens to South Mildura. Like, it is just
a little bit grainy.
Hey?
A little bit grainy, Paddy.
I mean, it was still
Yeah, right back to the station.
Yeah, it was at least 8.
You got 8.
It was 8, yeah. So,
No, they got 8. 8. It was a great final, wasn't it?
like, I mean,
Or final, that's final.
it just, that's huge. Like, if we...
I don't think Merbean probably won't hold on, I don't think. But I didn't think that'd be that close.
No.
I actually think we'd get between Merbean and the rest of the competition personally.
Yeah, it's going to be some shit.
You want to say?
Well, they don't start making inroads now. It's like, what the fuck do we do?
If they don't make inroads now, they're cooked. And I think it's just the ghost of the past. Like, it's just...
This is the big problem.
They're eventually going to be a powerhouse at some stage. I just don't know when. I thought they'd improve rapidly this year.
So did I.
That's
you and I talked about it, we thought, oh, surely they'll be taking a couple of runs up.
That's true. And they're filled and more.
It's two and three played for today, so
Yeah, well,
that's
that's
obviously kicking 3 and 4 innings, so he's obviously
Yeah,
playing
yeah.
small. So 38 seconds of word, we should come back up to that, or just take a couple of quick messages here.
Take a couple of quick messages.
Yeah, intriguing.
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it?
Oh, it's
Hey, you
brutal.
can't talk about that free kick. You can't get that free kick.
That's
Umpire can't do that.
Is that really what happened?
Well, it's
Because we had 10 runners, so we didn't see.
The bloke dropped the ball. He didn't get his hand. He tried and missed, which was fair enough. The umpire said, no, like this. And he was running all the way down here to 15 metres, saying that to the bench and the people behind the bench and opening up. But they're also, that's bullshit. He dropped it. He goes, that's 50 metres downfield.
So, who is that umpire? He looks a bit like
Yeah,
doesn't he? I was serious. I was like,
Was there a second one?
What are you done for?
Well, he don't, I don't know.
Oh,
There's no free kick in that.
But the fact that it was actually play on anyway, like it's not like there was a free kick into the 50
Yeah,
minute
that's
like it's
right.
actually, the play was still continuing down the ground.
But he was answering to the people behind the thing over here about his decision. It was he dropped his hand, well, he got his hand, but that was, two decisions, not two decisions, but
Yeah.
2 minutes before. I don't know,
about 45 seconds.
That's just over that.
That's basically
I've not seen that.
No.
Unless it's been someone said to the umpire directly, I'm on
Yeah, but
the
you would have heard it though.
Well, exactly,
Yeah.
that's that word. And then he's looked around and said, who's he talking to?
Yeah.
But he was pointing at Benny and pointing at Ben. But it's the blokes in the middle behind me that
I was going to say.
I suppose they're inside that rope, aren't they? So they become part of the team. But who said before about the membership card?
Yeah, yeah. Indeed, they
They're all part of the club. So I'm a member.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
was somewhere watching the footy.
Very
I'm in
rich.
Geelong. I was just
Yeah,
going,
yeah, yeah.
That's what I said. What?
Got a big smoke
Go,
run.
Vichy.
Yeah, sure.
Anthony fell for it.
Now the Merrick said it's covered in this quarter, is that right, Paddy? Pat? Mr. Collier is here, First National Real Estate. It is a footy on 106.7 Hot FM. It is the Imperials versus Wentworth in a grand final replay. It's proved your caucus so far. And Wentworth lead by just 5 points at the main break. 4-7-31 to Imperials 3-8-26. Mitch Rod, Michael Di Fabrizio, Ben Ridley up here in the box. Max Dax Hollywood bringing you all the numbers. And John Hollywood for the Houston Club Resort will be coming to you live from down at ground level. Boys, great discussion you guys had after the first half. Where do you see the second half going at this stage?
Yeah, well, it's going to be very intriguing. I mean, at the end of the day, both sides have probably got a fair bit they can look at to be able to change and manipulate. Imperials probably have a few more levers to be able to change in the personnel and structural change, be able to where the positional players are going to go and need up. Someone like a Ticker, obviously, going forward. I'm just not sure about the experiment across half back with him at the moment. He's just not having any impact really across the game. And someone like a Ticker, only 3 touches and 3 goals in the forward line. As far as Wentworth go, yeah, they've sort of first in the contest effort. They've just got to be able to go out there now and play, as Johnny said, with confidence. Just go and play the game.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think, they'll be a bit emboldened by the scoreboard and the fact that they'll sense some room for improvement. But Imps have kind of got the challenge thrown to them at half time, and to go in 5 points down, they might come out feeling like they need to really step up. And we might see a bit more out of guys like Aaron Lasky, who's been a bit quiet, and some of the guys who've started off very good last year, and maybe just what we're doing so far.
Tell you one thing though, on this side of the season, or a treat I should say, is the Murdoch South Victoria game. And I don't think, like we've spoken about this off air just briefly there, I think this is as big a story going around in the Sunraysia Football League right now, because Mervyn obviously have lost a huge amount of players. They're playing just for the love of the club right now, and I think Damien Hall's doing a fantastic job out there. South Mildura, on the other hand, we were talking about even the salary cap, they got an extra $20,000 in their salary cap this season after the 140,000. They've used every cent of that, and they've gone and recruited. What do you boys, as sports media experts, what are your ramifications for someone like South Mildura? Should they continue to 0-5 and lose? Heavily expected. Now it's only halfway through the game, but gee whiz, there's some worrying signs.
Yeah, I suppose it's really the guys who obviously know that they're going to play this inside out, the ones who are going to have that's more intimate, I guess, a lot of say on where things go deeper, but certainly from the outside, it doesn't look great when you get to that position. Although, that being said, there was a couple of injuries that have today, so that certainly has hurt most, but yeah, certainly would not be where it would have hoped to be as such.
This one, I drew.
Way if you're going to the Sunraysia, bringing host some players from other leagues that have that as well. It might not be the worst thing if you just have a year lane with that. Everyone's kind of build back that way, but they want to see results.
My issue is those top players are saying, like, they're, the Netball boys and these top players, they're going.
You tell me the right hand
That's the part of where I think
didn't even know he's even filmed on it.
They need further support. They need not all final sort of something they need to aim for. But genuinely, there's a big story at Penny Park at the moment, guys. So a very close one to keep an eye on.
Absolutely, we will be keeping an eye on that scoreboard now for Mallee Bearings. The third term is underway here on Hot FM from Ryan Waitman Oval. A 5-point margin in favour of Wentworth in this green final replay against Imperials. Jack Cottrell was immediately ramped up from the first ball up. Now Carter at the back for Wentworth. Just taps it on to Cottrell, who arcs the back and puts it inside 50 over the head of Dawes. Hancock attacks it hard. Callahan did well to bring him to ground. They've got the numbers there in defence. Imperials, Galbraith. The kick wide. Mark was dropped there by Penny. Under a bit of heat, well done by Hooper. Now Lasky. Handball inside was good. Though set Whitelaw a real challenge. Now Wentworth can go back the other way. Long kick around the corners, looking for Dawes off hands. Galbraith says it across the line. He looks like he's got the match up there now, DFAB, rather than with Aaron Dunn.
Just Wade Hancock's stepped up a bit of a limp after that contest, back on his feet, but really shaking it off.
He was immediately tackled there by Simon Callahan, so he's warning off the up today.
Looks like Regan Scott's gone to Aaron Duck now, so it's swapping the key defenders there, Reels.
Yeah, I like that. He's just a very well-tempered and very strong player below the waist as well. So that's something that they could win the ground level there.
So Starmate just outside the forward 50, left half forward here for Wentworth. 4-7-31, 3-8-26.
Tipping Woody has gone to half forward this quarter.
So as you called that before, Reels, you wanted to see him forward on the footy. Another big tackle again as Cottrell was first one there alongside Jackson Penny, who had quite a solid first half for Imperials. Like what he's bringing to the table across the flanks. Ball up again, Burns with the tap down. Carter at the back of the pack. Little shoe forward might work okay, but it's turned over. Lasky with the kick forward for Imperials. Reels just gets a handball off in time under pressure. Now Bryce Hart's up one step. Numbers here might favour Imperials.
Oh, that is the worst answer you would have asked.
Jaden Fox was free over the top. Instead it went back into the lap of the big man Hickey, who was immediately mowed down by Jared Scanning, but if Fox would have had an open ball.
That was Jaden Fox size down.
That was the worst answer you could have asked for.
No chance here for Reeves going forward from the Starmate again. The free put out of this contest. The fact that it might have been ball up, I think they had quite got the footy out in time.
No, you're right, they've called free. That
There is a free. Junior Hards will be the recipient of it. Again, we talked about Aaron Lasky was quite sort of after the opening 5 or 10 minutes. Steve had a couple of good early touches here in this quarter.
Yeah, that's getting involved. It's going to be important.
Junior Hards, first season back since June 2021, I believe, and he's played at Donald in that point in time. He's going to close in on 200 games at some stage this year, you feel, for the club, and it's across the face. Minor score, would have loved that first one on the board, but this minor score, 3-9-27 for Imps, 4-7-31 for Wentworth on the Coomanaller Club scoreboard. This third show brought to you by Mallee Bearings on 106.7 Hot FM.
Clearing kick, top of the 50, pack forms flying in front. Immediately picked up by about 3 defenders there for Wentworth, so the ball's going to be thrown up. The attacking side of Imperials goal line. Goes up 60 metres out. Quickly tapped down by Riley Burns, only as far as Carter. Carter with a clearing kick, kicks it. Looks like it's been intercepted by Douglas. The half forward flank. He's going to look for options to be able to present to him. He goes for a short leading option there in Fox. Fox gets punch position. Ball falls to the ground. Rode perfectly there by Ryan Hart. Gets it back to a waiting Riley Burns, who just rushes the kick forward. Ball then is intercepted by Wentworth. Hurried kick out of the contest and it's out of bounds on the full by Victoria.
Down at the year in the forward pocket there, DFAB just managed to move the young infant out of the way as the ball was kamikazing towards it. He was right onto it, knew exactly where it was coming. So Imps going inside 50, well weighted pass, really well weighted pass there coming from junior Hards. And Brad Valance with the extended jukes. Really good grab in front of Andy Walden, not an easy man to beat in a one-on-one. He's going to line up for goal number 3. He's third at this end of the ground.
So it's interesting, Silko was mentioning off air earlier that they really haven't paid the respect in regards to the players that were set up on Brad Valance. And early on in the game, he's got his confidence up. So no matter who they chuck on him at the moment, as he lines up for goal on a slide angle, 45 out, pulls it to the left side, and he could have missed absolutely everything there. But I think Silko was spot on the money what he was saying. They just allowed him to be able to get his confidence up nice and early in the game. He's taken some really strong grabs and probably playing as good a game as we've seen him play since last year's grand final.
Yeah, and they've had Silcox giving the shit. The shit. Like, the other day, I think 140 going through. The dump button is hopefully put on that one.
You're closer to the truth than what you know.
Just not the ground level. It's got to be good to see it's not just Paddy who does the first pass on there.
I was about to go down to Johnny, so at least you've got some respect to spell it out.
That's Jack Clark. Oh, the Vegas, a free kick's been pulled out. Going the way of Riley Burns. My boys aren't right with that.
Well, we'll take over Riley Burns, gets his stuffing left foot, goes out looking for a leading player, and Tipperwoody on the pocket. He's quickly beaten by Scatting. Scatting happy to see the ball push over the back with his left foot going towards the top of the 50 was much as the ball intercepted as that kick comes out. Hodgson tries to weave his way through and kicks over his shoulder on an errant kick. Looks like it's going to go all the way out of bounds on the full and be brought back in by Imperials. At the top of the 50 right in front of the Gorgeous, as I said, the Imperials.
Last couple of kicks for Wentworth coming out of defensive 50. They tried to go over the shoulders. They've been facing the wrong direction, so they tried to do it.
Yeah, that one was just try and move to get out of dangerous space. Probably needs a new satellite. He's not there.
As Brad Hart goes along to the top of the square, a big spoil coming through from the wall. And his name all over, didn't his knuckles left the imprint of the Sharon as it goes across the line. I reckon he's gained more territory by fist than he has by foot over his career.
So
he's still only 29, 30 years old. He's still a long time already.
So ball punched there out of the contest there by Nick Jensen. Goes under as far as right. Hards, he spins around. He looks for a kick out of the contest. It just goes to the left-hand side of the goal post. It's going to be another point there for Imperials as they just slowly inch their way closer towards Wentworth score here at the start of the third quarter. Only 6.5 minutes in so far in that third quarter. Clearing kick out. Looking for a direct teammate there as it spills to ground, but quickly grabbed that by Davison. He tries to run, nearly taken, could have been held holding the ball. Ball spills out and going through was that much again? No, it was Dawes. He could have been taken high there. He's unlucky that he didn't get a free kick, Richie.
The intercept mark anyway is taken by Aaron Duck, who goes across the ground. It's a bit of miscommunication between two players, but it's going to work okay. Sutton flicks a handball into the centre square to Codgel. He's got no live handball here. Both Sean and McDonald are half forward. Again, two players left it for each other at the end. Too unselfish, but they're going to get lucky. Matt McKinsey held Riley Sean without the footy, so just outside the 50, the sheep looks inside. Once Hancock instead goes short to Carter.
It was the best and worst of Wentworth there. Spread the ground perfectly, but then when the ball went to a player, two players stood there and watched, waiting for the other one to get it.
It was unselfish from both, as that's a really nice hit-up lead from Blake McDonald, who just had too much size there for Whitelaw coming up the ground, and he's going to take the set shot from about 45 metres out of 45-degree angle. But it was a few times, DFAB, you can see Wentworth were being the unselfish one to try and let their teammate run under it, but in the end, both made the same call. So I guess trying to be decisive is going to be the big thing for them.
Probably trying to read the bouts as well, and it just fell flat forward. So yeah, just weren't quite sure of themselves, but an opportunity now thanks to that strong lead up half.
Don's had a really good first half, and it looks great off the boot. And gee, he loves it, Blake McDonald. He's first off the day. What a cracking game it's been here for the man who's coming back home from South Australia and done a number in this midfield. That margin back out to 9 points, 5-7, 37 for Wentworth. Imperials at 3-10-28 on the Dream Yellow Club scoreboard. Have a look over at Maxine. He's already linked out Blake McDonald. He's got another couple of disposals in his corner. takes it to 16 for the game with a goal now, even before
He
Mitchell.
just gets distance. He just gets distance across the ground, drives the ball forward. We spoke about this, Johnny, at half time where we wanted them to be able to spread the ground. And even when they got caught there in a little bit of indecision of the players trying to get the footy, they still had the space and time to recover because they're spreading the ground and using the width a lot better than what they were in that first half. Bizarre to see, but we see the ball goes into the attacking 50 there for Wentworth, looking for another avenue, but a nice mark taken there against the grain of the flight of the ball there by Regan Scott.
It was a big clearance from McDonald and the goal kick out of the centre. They got it inside 50. Scott's kick went across defensive 50 to Galbraith, who's down the line. One up by Jensen.
It's an ambitious contest. Ryan Hard's up against Nick Jensen.
He did certainly try to use his body, but the big man worked it well.
Okay, now they can get through the middle here again, guys, and stretch if they want to.
Centre wing comes back into the centre for Sean. He's got scanning further flank. He's got real short. Starts to bob it up for Carter. It's cut off here by Valence. He's having some kind of a game. Kicks towards half forward. Spoiled away from Hickey. Nicely done by Wall. Scanning. Gee, did that really well. Be able to tap to his own advantage, Globetrotters style. Now Hooper just gets the kick away as he's tackled. He's going to pitch it inside the boundary line. It is on the floor.
I thought it was inside too.
Well, in the end, it's going to be a free kick to Cooper White ball, but they've done okay. Defab the last couple of times. The Imps gone forward. The Wentworth defence has held up.
Interestingly, Anthony McDonald was at the last centre bounce, so a bit of interim time, which is a lead they pulled a couple of weeks ago in the third quarter.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Just a little bit of 5 minutes. Great grab from behind by Fox into the 30 line. The umpire's actually called it touched by a previous player. I haven't actually seen that call there. That was probably very unlucky. Fox actually took it beautiful.
Well,
grab as well.
more often than not, Rivers, you see when that's paid, even if there has been a touch, they usually pay it to the market, but in the end they let it go. Hooper for Wentworth. Dangerous handball going backwards. McDonald tip and Woody picks it off. What a handball that is for O'Hare coming through. Now a chance for Cooper Penny. He's just bundled over at the last minute. Wentworth have the numbers in defence. Unfortunately for Hooper, he's got no one to go to as Alex Douglas takes the intercept. He's got a man inside the forward 50 by himself being taken. Jackson Penny. What a by Lasky. Really good grab over the top. Towering chest mark in the end. A good clunk. And Defab had his name on it from about 15 metres away.
Yeah, really good grab in flight there to just sort of charge in and read it better than anyone and take it off home.
I'm actually not sure that his target was him. I think it was Jackson Penny who was the man by himself there.
Floated for a while.
But it was well done by Penny to know that Lasky was coming and got out of the way.
Yeah, 100%. And he just turned his body right at that contest there to be able to just protect it and keep it on his chest. So Aaron Lasky coming in 40 metres out directly in front. He looks comfortable. The ball looks good off the boot.
Yeah,
the umpire doesn't have to move too far, but he moved enough to his left-hand side. And it's just floated across, but it looked good off the boot. And unfortunately, it only gets his mind for all his efforts.
Down the boundary for the Houston Club Resort, John Hollywood. Johnny, you can just see a couple of missed opportunities here for Imperials. Is there any kind of frustration or panic coming up from the bench at the moment, or is it still pretty tough?
Frustration. Making plays, making errors.
Yeah, Bryce Hards goes back inside 50. Jaden Fox has got to beat a couple. Wayne Grill's one of those and happy to hurry it across the boundary line and going to throw in a right forward pocket here for Imperials going to Sam Manuel Avenue and of Brian Wakeman over the left of your radio dial. Reece Marsh just having a spell on the bench here for Wentworth at the moment. Blaine McHugh also waiting to find his way back onto the ground.
Imperials setting up really good across the 50 here as we see Brad Hart out of the contest on his trusty left foot, and something out of nothing is created, and as he's done so over many years, 2 decades in fact, Brad Hart has kicked a very crucial goal off his trusty left foot.
Just put himself in the absolute right position at the right time there, did Defab, and he's probably unfashionable in the way he kicks it, but I reckon he's just got a knack for finding goals when he kicks it around the corner.
Absolutely, experience changing then. And as John said, with the 11 behind on the score, there was 0 goals, 6 in 4 times before that goal. So I think they really let it happen when Brad Hart stepped up in this game.
Very solid goal.
Some score updates from around the grounds at John James Oval. Robert Bale Houston leading by 5 points over Owen United, 57 to 52. Irimple 1 point up over Mildura, 5-5, 35 to 5-4, 34. And at Kenny Park, Irvine 8-7, 55, leading South Mildura 4-7, 31. The Zips go forward again. This time it's going to go through for a 5 score for the long kick it goal.
Yeah, nice run of play there out of the middle. Lasky's really starting to get involved, isn't he? And they set up a goal there from Hickey from about 7 times on. Maybe it was that.
Try for possession coming out of defence here. Wentworth as much goes short to Xavier Torre. But it's going to leave teammates like so down on the line in the court. Well done, taken by Ben Galbraith. He got pushed away by Aaron Duncan. He pushed his way into the mud. The footy coming through. Goes back from where it came, looking for Brogan. Fox wants to look at DB. And it's right in front of the lady's tent there in the left wall pocket here for Imperials.
So it's going to be another opportunity here. Only 1 point behind here. 14 minutes gone in the third quarter. Imperials only 25 metres out in front of goal as the ball comes in, spills to ground, trying to get his head over the football was Grave. Imperials very cleverly kicked out of the contest from Wentworth as they've got numbers at the fall of the ball. Tyres, just a kick that comes off the side of the boot, is going to run over the boundary line, and Aaron Duck's going to be happy to accommodate it and just run it over. So still in the attacking half defab, attacking in for Imperials that is. As we see another boundary throw in, we get the two big ruckmen. This time it's going to be Jensen against Hickey.
Wrestle for front position. It is Jensen that wins it down. Ryan Hart's with a quick handball to Colby Hart's. He's got one high on the way through. In fact, it's Grogan who's the recipient. Handball works okay from Colby Hart's to Alex Douglas inside 50. McDonald Tipperwood on the lead. Gianni Wall just crunches him over the top with a massive spoil. Meanwhile, at ground level, it's Valance going at it again. He's going back the block today. Brad Valance looked in great form. Going to have a ball up just inside the forward 50. Forward here for Imperials. 15 and a half minutes in this third term. Around the corner from Lasky. Just evades the leader. Here's McDonald Tipperwood. Couldn't hold possession. Now a chance for Grogan. It just gets absolutely flattened at the top of the square. Now McDonald Tipperwood again. Shoveling handballs forward. Hanging on for grim death here. The Wentworth defence. They've done okay to survive for now. Scanning high up and under kick. Hickey couldn't hold the chest mark. Now numbers here with Cottrell. Now Hancock was had to push down the ground.
Away from home.
But they just had to get some kind of territory. And it bounds to be a good result here. Inks will keep it in. Callahan, Duck as well with Galbraith. Keeps his feet nicely. Goes back down the line for Brad Hards, and it's going to go back inside 50 again.
Brad Hards on the half-forward flank, only a couple of metres in from the boundary line. He plays on, looks to the corridor, straight up to centre half-forward. He's asked a lot of his direct teammate there. Ball spills to ground, finds looks like it's McHugh. Further out wide, he's got Regan Scott, who goes to the top of the 50, launches it, and just misses to the left-hand side. I'll tell you what, the big fella wouldn't have kicked a goal for many a game at the moment as Reggie Scott just tries to impose himself there, and they're just willing their way through at the moment, Mitchie. They're first to the contest, and they're actually brutal around the contest as well, the Imperials.
Defab Regan's probably had a few more steps than he realised on the far side of the ground. Maybe could have composed himself a little more.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit rushed at the moment, going inside 50 hips, because it seems to be looking into a lot of contests where they're outnumbered, or just as an extra player lurking with the roost.
You want about it in different ways, but the scoreboard is even at the moment. Thanks to Kumi out the club, 4-13 and 37 for Imperials. Wentworth 5-7-37. The Houston Club Reserve, John Hollywood on the boundary. I mean, Imperials have got the momentum at the moment, but big tick, I reckon, for the Wentworth defence, who are hanging on grimly at the moment. Xavier Torre goes forward here for Wentworth, but 2-on-1. Trav Dawes really had no chance. Scott takes the mark, goes quickly, finds Ryan Hards. Looping handball back in what Wickett is a dangerous one. He does well to go back out to the wing, however, for McHugh. So the kick over the top's going to work nicely for Valance.
So Valance on the outer flank. He just stops and props for a second as he looks to go long. He goes very long inside the attack. He's looking for Tipperwood, and a great grab over the top by young Jack Carter, and clash of the absolute 5'2" Titans there between Tipperwood, McDonald and Carter as he elects to play on across the ground, kicks again to a contest, duck flies, ball spills over the back. The umpire says you've gone a bit too early. Kicked out of the contest was Lasky, who's starting to get his hands on the ball a little bit more in the third quarter. It's an errant kick, misses everything. It's out of bounds on the full, Mitchie.
I don't know, Deepak, whether you have a smaller combination of a cumulative than the number ones between Carter and McDonald. Tipperwood is Xavier Latorre takes it in the back 50, but a really good mark in the contest there from Carter. It's underrated skill of his, I think.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, sort of, got the positioning right to be back of the pack.
Tried to hug the boundary there, Latorre, but just went too far in the wide direction. And Alex Douglas will send it back inside 50 again for Imperials.
Story of the day behind the ball at the moment. 3 players for Imperials are standing all by themselves guarding space, so they're not really getting any ascendancy going forward. As see a kick forward, very, very strong grab, and coming from the pack with Bryce Hards, and that's a real strong grab in a group of 6 players.
Nice fly header behind. Sort of snuck under the radar there. Was in the right spot.
It's kind of almost if you stand under a waterfall and everyone just sort of fell over the top of him. He was the one standing still.
He's hit the post as he's played on, kicks around the corner, and it looked great off the boot, but I reckon that's the 4th poster there today for Imperials. As they're wishing at this point that there's probably a couple more avenues to go, but very good effort as we see the ball on the outer wing. Contest flies floating back again. Regan Scott, who's really starting to impose his force across half back, which he
Certainly is. That behind from Bryce Hards puts Imperials back in front, 4-14-38, leading Wentworth 5-7-37 on the Coonella Club scoreboard. Nearly 20 minutes gone in this third turn thanks to Mallee Bearings in Mildura. Penny, quick handball off to Galbraith, just cuts a sway through the middle of the ground. Nearly on the second bite there for him, so half forward, couldn't take it. Really good smother coming over the top there. I reckon it was Tommy Sapupo with the last ditch effort just to bring it to ground. And stopped it going back inside 50 again for the green check.
As Imperial set up numbers again across the middle of the ground, Riley Burns just takes his own ball out of the contest. Only as far as, is that Hancock? No, that's Sutton. Sutton, sorry, as the ball spills back to McHugh. McHugh goes over the shoulder looking for Fox, who gets it off the back of the contest, immediately plays on to an open goal and makes something out of nothing. He was 4th in line, takes a real strong grab across his chest, and that was a desperately needed goal there for Imperials, just to be able to settle the flow, get 7 points in front deep in this third quarter.
Deepak just read it perfectly, didn't he? Made sure his body was in the right spot and then played on without actually playing on. He kind of just walked into the goal square and no one went with him.
Didn't seem too worried about getting tackled or anything. We just thought, I'll have a nice dribble from 50 metres out, but yes, didn't make any mistake of it. And, very handy goal yet again for him, so they've just got a little buffer that they had to work very hard for.
Duck goes in the ruck this time for Wentworth too.
5-14-44 for Imperials. Wentworth 5-7-37 on the Coonella Club scoreboard. First goal of the day for Jade Fox, who's second in the goal kicking.
Wow.
He's up to 19 for the season now. We're trailing Noah Pecoraro from Mildura coming into this one. As clever tap from Burns over his head. Didn't quite get the intended target. Getting through the middle there, nice bit of work there from Whitehall. The handball was good. Penny out wide there as well with McGinty. He's got Jack Cottrell for company. Blake Grills looking for the options. Good handball back to Carter.
He's good today, isn't he?
Just tweaks it forward. Going back to the flow as Douglas couldn't hold it, but he's going to push it front on. And it's going to go back his way. It's another good day deep for Alex Douglas. Doesn't play too many bad games, but another solid one for him.
He's shipped over and taken that mark, Reggie Scott.
And Callahan gets the run past handball.
Just hitting targets at the right time at the moment, Imperials, as Riley Burns goes with a raking left foot kick again, looking for Fox, who gets front position. Scanning, happy to see the ball go over the line, pressure right on the back foot of Fox, but as he's kicked his first goal there, Mitchie, he's the last player that Wentworth need to be able to get his tail up at the moment, because we know what he can do in the space of 5 minutes. Just great games of half points.
We actually saw when Bryce Hards took the pack mark, he came up a bit proppy, Jaden Fox, and thought maybe he had a couple of issues to worry about, but he's moving beautifully at the moment. Latorre takes down O'Hare, about 55 metres out from Imperials' goal, left of your radio dial, Sam Maggio having a lead off, Ryan Waitman over, stuffed out by Burns. Lasky again, couldn't quite take control, goes back though, handball to McHugh, over the shoulder, just tried to gain territory, but Grills takes the intercept mark inside defensive 50. Going down the 11-3 flank, a well-weighted pass from Parker.
He's got Sapupo forward if he needs. Sapupo gets used inside the corridor. He's got Cottrell. Cottrell keeps moving forward. Ball goes over the top. Cottrell can keep going if he likes.
Donald's got it.
He's at just outside of the centre half forward square. He's still just looking for someone to present, so he elects to go deep into the pocket looking for Wade Hancock, who's one out, and just jumping in front was Cottrell, so he's worked really hard down the line there. and this is one that they're going to desperately need. So he's probably just outside of his distance at the moment. Richie, what do you reckon? Top of the square, look for doors as doors goes forward, but probably allowed a little bit too much time as we see a couple of big fellas now go to the line in Riley Burns as well.
Cottrell, kicking from just outside 50 left half
Oh,
forward. Jeez,
whoa.
give it an all.
Oh, surely not!
He's absolutely nailed it.
Wow!
That went through third post high, and he absolutely flushed at Jack Cottrell. I mean, we saw him kick one earlier in the day, which didn't look anywhere near as good as this. That was an absolutely perfection coming from half forward and brings Wentworth back within a point. Johnny Hollywood on the boundary for Enjoy Catering. Well, Riddles was wondering if he had the purchase. Did he ever? He had purchase and then some.
He did it with these. He's just a laconic figure too, Cottrell, and he just does everything, and he just looks so, I don't know, he just looks so composed and laconic, everything he does.
Kick inside 50 from that man, Cottrell. Dawes
nice.
almost takes it at the back of the pack. Good work here from Latore. Off to McKinnon.
Has he
Got the purchase, it hasn't quite. As Alex Douglas punches the ball away and into the behind post and get a boundary throw in. But interesting, Deepak, the way that they went in forward 50 there with Cottrell taking the mark before, rather than looking at the lead up forwards, I think the forwards are happy to stay back and allow the midfielders to drink into space.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. And good defend off the margin, the Torre in there as well, and find the open man. So it's a nice play happening up forward for the Roos.
Tyler Ty's taken down there by Matt McGinty. As we have a star inside 40-50 for Wentworth. 25 minutes gone in at this third term. Thanks to Mallee Bearings. Won't be much longer left before the side. Burns gets the tap down.
Here, won't they, very quickly, when he, as we see the ball come from behind, quickly roved by Campbell Davison. He was
He's having a good day,
he's had a great day. He can spread the ground here. Elects to go short with a beautiful kick and finds a teammate. Is that McDonald again? It's McKinnon. Well, he's one that you certainly want the ball in the hands of. He's a beautiful kick for goal, as we hear right on the three-quarter time siren. Jordan McKinnon's going to be kicking from just on about 42 metres out directly in front. This is a big kick, Mitchie.
3 big goals last week.
And 2 of those coming in the final term as well to help them win against Irimple. So Wentworth currently behind by a point as the third-quarter time siren is gone. But Jordy McKinnon, our man Count Dracula, on the runway. Looks pretty good. It looks right. I think he's got it through. But Jordan McKinnon gives the Roos the lead. Again, 2 goals in the last 2 minutes have given Wentworth the lead at three-quarter time, and a nice bit of momentum after fighting hard, clawing away in defence almost the entire third quarter. Somehow they're in front, and we've got an absolute cracker on our hands. Wentworth 7-7-49, leading Imperials 5-14-44 on the Kumiala Club scoreboard. We've got a hell of a final quarter coming your way on the other side of this. Absolutely. Go get a drink. Go get something. Go and relax. You don't want to go anywhere away from your radio dial here on 106.7 Hot FM, your home of live local football in Sunraysia for the final term of action.
This is bizarre. What a bizarre game. Isn't it? It's insane. What are we doing out at Kenny Bar?
It's 2 goals.
Oh, really?
Jumbo ranking skill level of both sides.
So that right, and was 0 defense.
No, I was going to say it's not.
Yeah, it's probably about right. I don't think Ian will actually have a touch on it.
Number
Oh, I
one.
think he might have
Oh, yes, he is, isn't he? Oh, yeah, he is. Yeah, he's
Jack
awkward.
Cottrell at 6.
Kicks it awkward. He's just.
Leighton
he's-
Donald's 3.
He's a donks. He's a guy. He's just, yeah. No, he's,
Right? He takes 3 or such.
3's probably about right. Yeah, we'll go with that.
He defeated them.
Yeah.
so the video taking going, buddy.
Good, apparently it's a bit blurry.
He's
so I
rusty.
just gave it
He kicked the goal, but he
In our experience with video cameras, just throw it around the ground a couple of times. It usually works.
Oh no, I don't think I should be doing this.
Remember the old Nintendo game? So you just blow to the bottom of the thing. Two of on top, and you were spitting into it, and it was all the acid that was burning there. You sit there and tap it on the side.
Yep.
And Ben Galbraith.
Wedding clip I saw this morning on TikTok and YouTube, and it was like it was the husband's party, and he was exposed in the wife for cheating.
What was that, the firefighter?
I don't know, but
Or a big light blue background or something like
60
that.
seconds.
well, it was just like really blurry, and someone commented, "Was this taken on a Nintendo DS to footage?" It was so blurry, and I was like, "How do you get so blurry? Like, what phone are you using to record it?"
Zelda going in the background.
Still doesn't know whether I'm downloading AFL 26 yet or not. I'm waiting until the bugs
Hey,
out.
it looks okay. It looks better than
It looks a hell of a lot better than AFL 25.
Oh, that was
A lot of the management stuff is really awesome.
Well, I think they've actually had a couple of years to work on it in the meantime.
Well, as well as there's a guy, he works at night, his name's Dan.
Oh, Twisty, Twisty,
And he shows some stuff where
It's so good
you
you
can choose the manager you're playing.
It's not a lot of
And
just
you
with
can
fun
choose
stuff.
when the team's flying, what they have to play, and just
But when it's interesting, I think it's good.
Yeah, it's a close game.
Let's go, BG.
Let's go, boys.
You know, it's sort of
Record some
cool.
spots.
Visuals.
I didn't like the last one. There's no career mode.
Nah.
So he's going to play as himself.
Yeah, it looks like they've got most of them. We've got the Stanford and
Yeah.
VFL and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Hopefully it comes up to that. Always play this.
Something's happened here. Coming to you live here from Brian Wayman Home. We're on 106.7 Hot FM. Looking forward to bringing you this final quarter of action, which is going to be an absolute cracker coming your way. Rough.
Sorry, look at that lights flashing, which I've never seen before. We might have to show it to you.
Welcome back to 106.7 Hot FM. It's certainly going to be a massive final quarter coming your way on Sunraysia football and netball league action here on 106.7 Hot FM. Your home of live local sport in Sunraysia. Just about ready to go. We'll go down to John Hollywood in just a minute to hear what the coaches have had to say. We apologise for a couple of gremlins in the system here. But Max Diak's on, let's be keeping a close eye on the numbers. Maxie, let's start with the midfield duo of Jack Watchell and Blake McDonald from Wentworth in that quarter.
Jack Cox was solid that quarter. He had 6 possessions, 1 mark, 1 inside 50 and 1 goal.
What about Blake McDonald? Was he important even though he didn't have a huge amount of the footy?
Yeah, Blake McDonald had 3 influential possessions, 1 mark and 1 goal.
Nicely done here from him. Andy Ball in the back line. Certainly didn't have as much of the footy, but some big spoils were really important.
Yeah, he has had the 1 possession and tackle.
And Jordan McKinnon, as we said, a little bit of a quieter day for him today, but gee, that was an important goal right on 3/4 time.
Yeah, Jordan McKinnon had 2 possessions.
Brad Hart swam back the clock a bit in that quarter. It was very impressive.
Yes, he was. He had 5 possessions, 1 mark, 1 inside 50 and a great goal.
And Aaron Lasky as well, again, was busier in that term.
Yes, he had 6 possessions, 1 mark, 1 tackle in behind.
Anthony McDonald, Woody.
He was a bit quiet and he had 3 possessions and a tackle.
And what about Evan Galbraith?
He had 5 possessions, 2 marks.
Yeah, love your work, Maxie. Certainly keeping a very close eye on this final quarter. The scoreboard reads Imperials 5 Then Wentworth 7-49. So I might throw it down now to John Holland on the boundary for Houston Club Resort. Johnny, you're listening into Brad Valens at the Imperials huddle. What do you have to say? It's a pretty simple way to sum it up, isn't it, Riddles?
Well, at the end of the day, sometimes as a coach, you just got to make it as simple as you possibly can. And there's nothing wrong with just giving a little bit of arrogant biting to the players just to be able to get that lift. And Johnny, you're absolutely right. I mean, for going some of those basic skill level, they're right in this game.
Final quarter of action underway in your match of the day on Hot FM. Jack Cottrell with the handlines of Rory Hooper from Wentworth. Retreats a bit further. Riddles off one step, not a great kick. Galbraith taps it down to his own advantage, looks for the sweeping handball for McHugh, who shrugs the first tackle, goes back to Galbraith, takes one a bit high, but certainly trying to set the tone early here. Wentworth and Jack Cottrell really ramping up the physical pressure to start this final quarter, DFAB.
You can't quite believe that it wasn't his free kick, but no, he just certainly has been prominent yet again around the stoppages.
Luke Hickey on a strong lead, now kicks it inside 50. Might have been a push there from Fox. Up high, lets it go off the back of the pack. Indecisive around the corner. Has he got the purchase? He hasn't. He wanted to handball it off to Anthony McDonald, Tip and Woody, then decided to go back again. In the end, across the face, and it's just trickled out for a boundary throw in the right forward pocket. At the end, he wanted to have the end of BWO.
I reckon Tipper would have just told him next time, just go for goal as we see the ball thrown back in, front position balance. He beats Jensen to the ball. Jensen punches it again. We're going to see another boundary throw in the exact same spot. First goal here, which is very important for Imperials to get on board.
It certainly is, and around the grounds, Robinvale used to lead Home United 77 to 52. It's 42 all in the final quarter between Oribel and Mildura, and South Mildura have hit the lead 56 to 55 against Burdine.
Well, it's probably that fitness you're expecting that they're going to get. So as we see deep in the back line, McDonald, he tries to kick forward, looking for Campbell Davison. He's happy to see the ball go over the top. It just beats him over the boundary line, but again, just getting some forward movement. And they're going to see a throwing right in front of the coach's box here for Wentworth.
Campbell Davison reminds me a bit of a premiership winner in the EPL DFAB, doesn't he? Because he likes the ball to go over his head and just run into the open space.
Yeah, that's right. It's like he's following the offside rule, but very, very nice when he can get a bit of a run back of the pack.
Here's a chance for Sutton. Nice bit of a pirouette, but then the second one was too much. Advantage paid. Ryan Hards inside 50, back in the pack where Fox has got the set. That was a real kick to advantage, and that's the thing when Junior Hards has that extra space. You know he's going to put it to advantage.
Yeah, very, very unusual to ever see a wasted ball in the hands of Ryan Hards, and he's kicked that perfectly as we see the ball just sail over the back to advantage. And he's really good one-on-one, Jaden Fox. He's going to be kicking 15 metres out on a very, very slight angle. Those green boots, what can they do? He's got a stuttering start.
He's missed it.
And he's missed it. His confidence is just shot today at the moment. But you could just see, obviously the first one where he should have just kicked instead of looking for Tip and Woody McDonald. But there it was that last step in where he just double hop virtually and missed it.
He didn't really give himself a run up, did he, DFAB? He almost sort of stumbled in towards the middle of the mark.
Yeah, just kicked across it too much and to the left.
Well, a big chance here for Wentworth. They escape from that one still with a 4-point lead as Jaron Scatting.
Oh, that's the worst kick I've ever done.
Yeah, it certainly could have taken down the flank, decided to come inboard and went straight to Regan Scott, who's the other around half a dozen intercept marks today. Goes back out to the 11th Street flank, front on bumpy field there, and it's going the way of Imperials. It's Brad Hards, the skipper. Colby, thank you very much. Comes back inboard. Nice mark by Aaron Lasky going back to the flight. And here's Brad Hards inside the centre square. Left foot kick. It's going to be good for McDonald. That's a really strong mark with Andy Wall, who came with the force of 1,000 horses over the top, but he still somehow held onto it. I don't know how much grippo he put in his fingers, Steve. The ability to hold that mark was absolutely incredible under physical pressure.
I'll tell you how good that was. I didn't even realise he no, I just thought that Wall had given away a free kick for charging in and cleaning him up, but he actually held on to the ball the whole time. It was quite
the pancreas would have been just about ran over the field, wouldn't it?
I'll tell you
what a grab from Anthony McDonald, Tip and Woody. He's directly in front, only about 30 metres out. It's the man you want with the ball in his hands in this scenario to give Imperials back the lead. He's straight as wide as wow. Imperials goal kicking, the radar is absolutely off target today. 5-16-46 for Imps, 7-7-49 for Wentworth. A 3-point lead on the Coomiella Club scoreboard. 4.5 minutes gone in this long term.
Really closely to Tipper's back, you can see Andy Wall's kneecaps still excited as we see a big kick from Blaine Grills going down the line. That man Andy Wall flies from the back. Ball spills down. Whitelaw wearing a helmet in the second half. Ball spills to ground. Balance. Quick little handball out to Bryce Hards. He's just been tackled at the last minute, and again, Tip and Woody McDonald in the thick of it. Ball being pushed forward from Lasky. He just slaps it on the left foot, and under pressure kicks a huge goal for Imperials in this fourth quarter. That's desperately what they needed as they quickly push ahead, and they get reward for effort. Mitchie, that was just a perfect, just a gut-busting goal there, just from contest to contest, and the will to get it forward.
3-point lead now for Imperials for the Houston Club result. John Hollywood on the boundary. They just, rather than taking set shots at goal, just do what Aaron Lasky did. Just tuck it under the arm and run into the face of a contest. through, but it's probably not a bad one. That make Wentworth a better at being the hunted.
Yeah, well, they're just Imps just really took advantage of whatever they could get. That's it. Looks like he called it one of touched off the boot that one, so just made the most of whatever opportunity was presented and takes a little bit of pressure off.
Back in the centre of
They
the
just
also.
great tackle there.
Yeah, Blake McDonald looked like he's trying to bust his way through, but nice work by Wentworth. Thrown up again. Big man in the middle, Burns with the tap down for balance. Nice handball chain. Goes to Bryce Hards, handballs inside 50. Bounce doesn't favour anyone in particular. McDonald Tip and Woody tries to tap in his own path. And
I knew he was going to call that. That was a very unlucky call against Jack Carter. He was watching that really closely, and he's grabbed Tip and Woody with absolute, probably his fingernail at the end. And it was as if the umpire was looking for that call, or just a call. That's unlucky.
Either way, McDonald Tip and Woody will take the set shot at goal there. That almost an identical position to before.
Yeah, that's right. It's a chance to get a couple early on, which really take the pressure off after some nervous opening minutes in this quarter.
Really, you look at the goal in total, you think they should be a hell of a lot further in front, but to regain the lead, might need to make it a 9-point lead. That one looks much better.
Tipper doesn't miss those, although he did 2 minutes ago.
It's laconic on the run up, but he's absolutely put it through the middle. Now, it's an important goal for Imps, 7-16-58 for them. Wentworth 7-7-49 on Coombe Club scoreboard. 9-point lead in favour of the reigning premiers. And goals in this corner, Defab to Lasky and to Anthony McDonald, Tim and Woody just gives them the early break.
Yeah, Wentworth, obviously the last 2 quarters have followed a pretty similar script where they've soaked up a large amount of pressure for a long time and got 2 late goals. They obviously need to get into gear a lot sooner now.
Riley Burns at the moment, he seems to be the one who's the barometer for the team as he goes up again. He gets pushed out this time, the ball goes forward, quickly handballed back looking for Lasky as Imperials. There's a ball in dispute, but Jack Cottrell just storms his way out. He goes deep inside the attacking 50, over the back his way, Hancock, and takes a beautiful grab, 10 metres out directly in front. And it's Jack Cottrell again doing the damage in the middle of the ground, and it just shows Mitchie how important that ruck contest is to win, because the last 2 have been won by Burns. They've kicked goals. This time it was won by Jensen, and they're having a shot on goal.
Well weighted kick too from Cottrell to have Hancock over the back, had his name all over it, and he's put that through the middle. That's goal number 3 for him, and almost immediately we're back to 3 points in this ball game. 8-7-55 for Wentworth, trailing Imperials 7-16-58 on the Coombe Club scoreboard. And even though he was under heat there, D-Bab Jack Cottrell, and he was going inside 50, this time the long kick over the back, similar to the Jaden Fox one earlier for Imperials, it worked to advantage because Hancock had the move.
That's right. Yeah, Jack Cottrell's clearances are really a bit of an X factor in this game, and he's something who might just come back for a bit of a rest there. So I'm not sure if John's seen him, if he's all right.
No, he looks like he's just getting a rest. But I'll tell you what was the most disappointing part of this day is there's no women falling over the front of that picket fence on this Women's Day. You would usually think deep into the last quarter. The drinks would be flowing, everything would be happening, but they're very subdued as we see. Coming out of the contest this time was Sapupo for Wentworth. He kicks to the attacking 50, 30 metres. Tackle was Simon Callahan as he tries to break free, and it's Wade Hancock again coming in and putting that pressure on. So he's lifted. This is exactly where they want the ball at the moment. Mitchie just inside the attacking 50 for Wentworth. Ball goes down to Sapupo again. Oh, it's an absolute game here in the 4th quarter. Only 10 minutes gone in the 4th quarter, plenty of time still.
Cultural's taking a spell. Blake McDonald also on the boundary as well. So the 2 best midfielders off the ground. Meanwhile, McKinnon has a snap forward, smothered off the boot. Big tackle there from Marcus Brogan in defence for Imperials. Now O'Hare shows a bit of dare going out of defensive 50, and it's going to work. Lands in the lap of Bryce Hards. Wants the 50-metre penalty. Umpire's not giving it to him. Looking down the 11th Street wing. Hasn't got a lot going for him.
Waiting for the players to come past. Oh, quickly taken there was Gale Brave back to Hards. Hards with a hurried kick out to the outer wing. Beats all comers. The ball's going to be thrown in centre wing, just the attacking half. Imperials end. So a very, very important contest coming out from the boundary throw-in here.
Scores from around the grounds. Brockenvale Houston 78-58 over Owen United. Mildura have now hit the lead against Iripple 55-48. 57 all out at Kenny Park. A big game out there as Imperials try to work their way
Games
forward.
today.
Taken high there with O'Hare. He's looking to go inside 50. 75 for a home. It's an ordinary kick. That's the worst kick you could have going inside 50. But indecision again from the Wentworth defenders. Couldn't quite get the clearance out. They do have numbers. Latoure though, that's Xavier taking down the ground level just outside the 50-metre arc.
Again, just waiting, wasn't it? They were waiting to see who was going to get the ball instead of just taking it and just going for it themselves.
This is where you feel like a player like a Campbell Davison or a Jack Cottrell who are happy to take it on themselves, or Aaron Lasky, the guys deep up who can just put the ball under their arm and go, I'm going to do this myself. It's been important at this game.
Especially when he gets a nice taps like that one from Riley Birds before, straight down the throat of the teammate.
It's just in the wrong position. The umpire is on the backside there as the ball goes up in the air. Again, looking at the player instead of the ball. Imperials have numbers from Galway. Quickly taken. And it's going to be another throw up here as we see a really strong tackle there by Archie Latoure. Taking half still by about 10 metres, Mitchie, towards the Imperials end.
It was a good sport from him beforehand too to bring the ball to ground in a 2-on-1 contest as Jensen took a few opportunities to get it out of the middle and he's been taken. Is the free kick going to go the way of Imperials? And
Tell you what, Riley Burns has been crucial because usually you see that out-muscling in the last quarter there by Nick Jensen, but he's certainly up against it today against Burns.
Kick inside 50 from Ryan Hards, didn't quite hit the intended target though. Bryce Hards keeps his feet nicely! Just sent it out to the right-hand side. It was coming back, but through for a minor score. Will extend the lead to 4 points, however. 17-59 for Imperials, 8-7-55 for Wentworth on the Cooney on the top scoreboard.
It's a shocking kick.
Andy Wall put his head in his hands and he turned it over and half forward.
Worst kick.
Kick inside 50 was not great, but Donald Tip and Woody absolutely caught.
Oh, no way! Oh, are you kidding me, umpire? He is called. That was absolutely dropping the ball by Tip and Woody, and the iron 50! Oh my God! Oh, this is insane. This is absolutely insane. Tip and Woody has dropped that ball taking it. He's been caught holding the man, and then absolutely would have given a mouthful. And the umpire has called a 50. This is the same umpire who called the 50 that Johnny, you were talking about earlier, for apparently someone in the crowd not being happy. He's a very sensitive man.
Well, Anthony McDonald, Tipper Woody goes to the top of the goal square. So is having been really next to us as Tipper puts it through the middle and extends that lead back out to 10 points. But gee, that was certainly very lucky. You got the rub of the whistle there, McDonald, Tipper, Woody. Johnny, I don't know what you saw from the boundary line, but either way, Tipper's got his second of the final turn.
I'll tell you who thinks he's better than what you think is that umpire. He loves him. That is huge. That's a big free kick, and that extends it by 10 points here, deep in the last quarter. But gee whiz, that's a very, very important 50-metre and a free kick. As we see the ball try to get cleared out by Wentworth, probably holding the ball, and that's actually a legitimate free kick this time to Tip and Woody McDonald. He gets one in the centre of the ground. He's going to look to just steady the players around him down as he goes short to the top of the 50, finds a teammate in O'Hare. He presents nicely, so he's 55 metres out. He turns around, wobbly kick going to the top of the square. It's been dropped there by Sutton, spills down to Sapupo. Sapupo gives it back to Jensen. Jensen to Wall, off one kick, absolutely boots it to the centre of the ground, pushed out of the contest was Dawes, lands in the hands of Gale Braith, who goes further afield and finds a teammate on the outer side there in Jackson Penny.
So Penny, 60 from home, looks inboard 50, sets it up looking for Fox. Well done by Skane to keep the body pressure on him, and now Big Dick Jensen laying the tackle. That's really well done from the big man getting in to help his defence.
They're pushing numbers back as we go. We're into the 15th minute of the last quarter. So desperate times call for desperate measures as Nick Jensen gets front position. He's beaten out of it this time by Hickey. Ball spills to ground. About 15 players jump on it. No one wants to give an inch here in this dying last quarter. And we control a blanket over 30 blokes at the moment, pitching inside the attacking 50 for Imperials.
Certainly all move their way inside that 50-metre arc. Now from defence here, I think that's McDonald with the outside of the boot, just getting some clear territory. Hancock having to push his way up the ground. Alongside him, Simon Callahan has stuck that all day. Pushes him across the boundary line, DFAB.
Yeah, so Jack Cockrell's waiting to get back on, but when McDonald came on, Carter came on, so they're giving two of their prime midfielders rest at the same time for extended periods in his last
I'll
quarter.
tell you what, if they need to get him on, now's the time because you've got 58 players standing within 8 metres of him, so someone's got to be able to take this now and say, let's get our key play winner into the game.
Burns with the tap down again. defence here from Whitelock, pinched by Sabubo, and he's going to be held down the footy. Now it's going to be advantage. Here's McDonald, takes a bounce through the centre of Brian Waite, but Owen trying to open up space. He hasn't got a lot to go to, but the pivot was good. Came back to Aaron Duck, centre half forward. It's into space. It's a well-weighted pass, and Travis Dawes by himself. It was either Dawes or Archie Latore, but the big man has taken it. He's going to take the set shot directly in front, be about 45 metres out deep by the time he makes connection. But again, McDonald just tucking the ball under his arm and saying, I'll do this, boys.
Very nicely done and worked out the right position eventually. Cottrell's back on now as well for him.
So Travis Dawes, huge kick of the footy in this game. It's got some good distance, though Hancock at the back of the pack went for the mark and eventually he's given away the free kick in the process, which probably was there. Really an unrealistic attempt.
Outnumbered 1-3, so he was trying to do whatever he could, I think.
He looked like he was trying to scale Mount Everest there as we see Riley Burns. He's just happy to clear the ball out of the defensive 50. Flying for it was McHugh. Ball spills to ground, running onto it is Bryce Hards. He's having to send the ball over the boundary.
Umpire's called out of bounds on the floor because I think it's come off the shins of one of the Imperials players.
Oh, and it's Chicken Hawk. Chicken Hawk doesn't get this right.
No,
he hasn't. So
no, the two ain't boundary umpires.
He actually did call it.
One of the boundary umpires has signalled out of bounds on the floor. The other one I think is overruled on the way through.
Well, the two rucking this time it's Duck. Duck gets front position, gets the ball down to McDonald again. He's on the opposite foot, left forward, going forward, but tripping at the most inopportune time. Oh, he's been called for tripping. Oh, gee, Brett Hards has reason to sit there and probably argue the case there, but unfortunately for him, the ball goes inside and finds Aaron Duck at the top of the 50, probably just outside of his distance, so he's going to try and get a little bit of width. He does, he plays on immediately. He goes
Flying Duck!
and looks for as far as he can, and Regan Scott, who's had a fantastic game across half back on the last line of defence, is happy to punch the ball over for behind.
Some more score updates from around the grounds. Rockingham Houston leading Owen United 91-60. Mildura leading Oringal 57-41, and South Mildura 60-57 over Merbean and Kenny Park as Matt McGinty takes the mark inside defensive 50 for Imperials. They're currently leading by
games, boys. Very close games all around the ground.
Imperials 8-17-65, Wentworth 8-8-56. So looking for options here from fullback. We're going to find Bryce Hards. Just having to do it in short bursts at the moment. Imperials is Wentworth really trying to clean the screws down on the green machine defence. Has to go high up, and none of that's coming down with snow on it. Andy Wall's got the set, and he took that so well.
He was making that right from the word go.
Even with Riley Burns' pressure there, D-Fab, he had to take it on.
Very nicely.
So Wall moves forward, goes to the top of the square, waiting for a fly from the back. Almost hands on it there for Imperials in defence. I think it might have been Scott, who's the man coming up at ground level. Meanwhile, there's going to be a stalemate just outside the goal square, 20 metres out, directly in front of Wentworth's goal. They desperately love one here, the Roos. 18 minutes to go on in this final term. Trying to create something. Dawes with the tap down. Back of the pack. It's clear away for Reeves. Happy to try and work it towards the boundary line. Goes in that direction. And it's going to be a boundary throw in on the right half forward. Just inside the 50-metre arc here for the Roos.
Yeah, they need to find something here. The Roos, though, right at the top of the 50 on the 11th Street side of the oval. Numbers all around the contest at the moment. All players within 50 metres of the contest. Burns taps it down, running onto it. Looks like that is O'Hare, but gives the ball to a running player. Lasky, great kick and a great mark on the wing there by Hickey. Hickey plays on immediately, goes to centre half forward, and unfortunately the ball just falls in front of Fox. And a nice, comfortable grab taken by Scatty.
So Scatty goes back out to the 11th Street flank, finds Xavier.
Got a spread here, got a spread. You've got to get on your bike, boys.
Got a man short, and Grills decides to go further down the line. It's going to work for Grease much. So another solid day across half back today. Waiting for someone to present Addy down the flank. Has to go along down the line now. Hickey's going to fill the hole here. Couldn't take it, probably should have taken it. Massive tackle at the back of the pack. And it's going to be a stalemate again. Wentworth probably be happy with that result in the end, considering what it could have been. But it's still trailing by 9 points as we hit nearly rank time in this final quarter.
Interestingly, there was just no one home for him on that occasion.
Yeah.
Earlier, I think Galbraith was just yelling at his teammates, push forward, push forward.
Yeah.
It must have just been too congested in their back half, and that was when the ball was all the way at full back. So they, I think there was a bit of a concern effort to try and spread the ground a bit more.
John Hollywood, what's the messaging coming from the respective benches at the moment as this game tightens up? Holding the ball from that contest at the back. It's going to go to the way of Imperials. Trying to sense of who it is over the back. I think it might be Lane McHugh, who's the recipient.
He's made some big calls today, Mitch.
Back into defence and finds Matt McGinty. Goes back from where it came to Alex Douglas.
He's had a great game, Douglas. Great.
Certainly has. Really played England, Mr. Versatile. Just happy to play a bit of keepings off at the moment. Imperials maybe slightly early for that still at this stage, but they haven't really got anyone to go to down the ground right now.
There's still a bit of jump time left here as we see Douglas. He's just stat padding at the moment, so he goes long direct down the line, looking for a contest there, getting front position, Imps have numbers, roving off the ball is Lasky. Handball goes forward, only finds Duck. He's got to bend down, get below his knees, finds Sapupo. Hurriedly kicks it, top of the 50, Pack forms. Is there anyone falling behind? It is. Imperials have the numbers and a beautiful clearing handball out the front of the contest there to Ryan Hards. And a good kick. Here we go, Fox. He's just going inside the 52 bounces to the top of the 53 bounces. The ball can go for 4 bounces. Fox gives a handball over the top to Tipper. He's tackled right at the top of the 50. They have made an absolute meal of this. Fox has lost absolutely all of his confidence. He had an open goal to run into there all the time and space, and he just didn't put it on the boot.
Would have been the ideal way to seal it. 4 bounces running into the goal, but again went the unselfish way. That kick out of defence there from Andy Wall looking for Reece Much. He's absolutely scuffed it and it's gone out of bounds, so still going to be locked inside the Imperials forward 50. Gee, well done though from the Wentworth defence to scramble back there. I felt a bit for Jared Scanney because he did everything in that initial contest and Fox just ran away. Meanwhile, Hickey kicks forward, here's Fox again. Off his fingernails, Scanney wins the contest. Handball over the top for Grills. Got to find something. That long left foot kick is good down the line.
Down behind the line, boys. He just copped one off the back of the contest there.
Scott takes the intercept mark. Goes down the line for Douglas again. He's what a final quarter he's had. Goes short inside 50, but Sapupo cuts it off at the 50-metre arc. But they've got to go here when with 23 minutes left to the quarter. Across the face, Cottrell couldn't take it. O'Hare has done some good things in the second half. There might be a hole within the footy. Umpire hasn't seen it. Brad Hart's taken down. Stalemate almost directly in front, 40 metres from home. And sometimes I think when the balls need to be clean deep at both sides, have just butchered it a little.
Yeah, that's right. Although Jack Cottrell was the mark, important clearance out of defence.
As it goes inside the centre square, tapped down from the contest. Here's Galbraith. Did well to stop and prop, gets it to half forward, but here's Cottrell again. Goes across the flank.
Donald's got to go. Just run.
Really has to
run.
Get some separation here from Jackson Penny. Goes long inside 50. It's going to work. That's a well way to kick the handball. Takes the mark inside 50, but he knows he's got to go quickly.
It's 23 minutes gone, Mitchie. He really can't use up all his 30 seconds. He's going to have to try and get this, go back, compose, and kick. If he can, it's going to just bring it within 3 points if he can kick truly.
He's got 3, looking for 4. I reckon he's hooked it. He has.
Oh, gee, they needed that one as Imperials. They get numbers back. Tipper, Woody, McDonald and Fox, the only 2 players inside Imperials 50. So if they can get the ball down there quickly, Imperials, transition from the back line to the forward line is going to be very fruitful. Ball's kicked out by Colby Hards. Looking for a teammate there in Lasky. The ball spills to ground. It's Lattori. Gets it back to, is that Sean? Sean with a hurried kick. Doesn't go the full 15 metres. There's going to be a free kick over the shoulder to Rory Hooper.
Yeah, Hooper was taken
Great kick. Great kick.
Cleverly done. Goes back inside the centre square looking for Much. Couldn't quite take it, but they've got the numbers. But in the end, the pressure from Imperials was too much. Douglas is also left it behind. Here's Cottrell. Shrugs a couple of tackles. On the move. Jack Cottrell!
Oh, geez.
Would have been goal of the season if he had have done it, but it's across the face. And a minor score nearly put the team on his own back.
Well, what do we think of the time on, boys? We're 24 minutes gone in the last quarter. 2-3 minutes.
Well, Wentworth know how to kick 2 late goals in the course. They've done it twice already in this game.
The margin is back to 7 points now. 8-17, 65 to 8-10, 58 on the Kumiala Club scoreboard. And now the ball, I think, is in the hands of the Imperials defenders. Hickey, little kick down the line for Bryce Hards. I reckon now's the time to start slowing that tempo down a bit more. John Hollywood, this is a frantic final quarter. What's it like, the atmosphere at ground level?
2 go.
Oh, Andy Wall. Running back with a flighted ball. It's a hurried kick, but it's a wobbly kick. It lands in the hands of Campbell Davison. He spins around two players. He goes forward, looking for it. Over the back. The umpire says play on. Ball spills behind. They've got numbers here, Imperials, if they need. Coming through with composure is Regan Scott. Ball's punched off the boot. And it goes out of bounds. It's still the attacking end here for Wentworth. But gee whiz, they've got to get their skates on, boys. They need a quick goal if there's any chance.
The Ipswich defence will breathe a sigh of relief. It's not the AFL because that would have absolutely been deliberate at that level. 65 metres from home for Wentworth, trailing by 7 points. Got to get the next one. Got to get it now. Tap down here from Jensen. The ball comes back his way. He's got no one to give it to though. He's fallen on the footy.
Tripped over his own knees. On his knees.
And it's going to be a ball up by, I think Chris McGregor's got the ball, flicks it up. Jensen taps it forward. Carter, it's taken immediately by Lasky. Big tackle there from the Green Machine Man, who's coming out from Queensland. Had a great game again today. Burns taps down off hands, and here goes Ryan Hars. Just shrugs the tackle, kicks forward here for Imps. Hickey's got a chance to take a big mark. He's got this side.
It's one bounce.
Here we go.
It's two bounces inside the 50. He goes to the boundary. He goes with the kick and tries to soccer it through, and it just misses to the near side. Oh, gee whiz, that was the sealer right there, boys, as they're going to see a quick transition here. Andy Wall quickly goes to the outer side. They've got to move it. They can't take the time off the clock here. They've got to get the ball moving forward. He's got numbers, goes short, finds a teammate in Much. Much again, still looking for someone to be able to present themselves. He's got Rory Hooper if he wants on the outer side. He goes long direct to the inside of the wing. Ball spills to ground. Rory Hooper comes through. The umpire says no. You've gone too high with the front end attack on the contest, and probably a really lucky free kick there to young Grogan. He put his head over the footy. He's going to get rewarded. And I'll tell you what, this could be enough for Imperials, Mitchie.
It certainly could be. Looking for balance, centre half forward. John McKinnon takes it on the second bite. No, umpire said play on, so balance got first hands to it. And in the end, it's a ball.
That is it.
The final siren has sounded. What a cracking contest we've had. Everyone is absolutely out of their feet here at Brian Waitman Oval. The Imperials have got it done. 8-18-66. Wentworth 8-10-58 on the Kumiella Club scoreboard. A cracking contest that's ended up in an 8-point margin in favour of the reigning premiers in what has been a cracking grand final replay. And can't wait for the second instalment of it later in the year if it's anything like this one. We're going to head back to the studio, and on the other side of this, we'll get the boys to wrap up what's been a fantastic contest here at Brian Waitman Oval on your home of live local sport in Sunraysia, 106.7 on FM.
There you go, boys.
Boys, that disconnected. I hope they got the end of it.
Oh. She was
Paddy.
Yeah, mate.
reserve.
Is it still coming through?
Sorry, mate.
Is it still coming through?
Yeah.
Because it just says here it's been disconnected. So I didn't know whether it was.
No, South got up.
25 points.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Really?
Like $6 in the last quarter.
Oh, that's cool, that's cool.
Reels,
Yo.
do you mind sort of looking up for the last wrap up?
Yeah,
Maybe we've got to take it off.
Oh, you go. Go.
So you jump on this one.
Yeah, that's 14 points.
And then, 14.
So you had a free show like
I'm going to take it off. You're right, but
you had a free show yesterday. Paddy was all, I'm going to move in, I'm going to move in, and then Jay back and me just right over the top of him.
so
Yeah.
we'll get Max's number first. We're not jumping that one afterwards.
Great, that'd be great. Thanks, Dad.
Defo will take control.
Oh, boys.
Hello, Mickey boy. Johnny. Great call today, boys.
Pioneer forward. And we'll be back up.
Only old ground blocks ramifications. Yeah, he'll link it. Defo.
Yeah, Defo.
Do I just say to hear the sound of?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, thanks.
Just Paddy will just give you a run until you go.
Do you want to just turn his file back for it? So I can't be 2 plus 1. Just when he's ready to go. Here we got another 3.
Yeah.
Right, 10 seconds.
Just give us a play, Paddy. Yeah.
5. 4. Go. Yep.
Welcome back to the Brideway, but we've just watched a very, very entertaining game with the Imperials getting home in the end by 8 points, 18-66 to 8-10-58 Wentworth.
Good work.
Up the scoreboard. We'll go to Max, the ex-Hollywood. Max, the ex-Hollywood. All the stats. Max, take us through the players that we're watching today.
So for Imperials, Timber was solid today. He had 12 possessions, 3 marks, and 2 goals. 2 goals.
2 goals in the last quarter, which proved crucial.
Brad Hartz, he was solid today. He had 10 possessions and a goal.
Yeah, good performance from him.
Aaron Aspie, he was great today. He had 16 possessions, 3 marks, 3 tackles, 2 inside 50s, and 2 behinds.
It was super influential in the second half when it was an early one.
And Ben Gallagher, he was good today. He had 15 possessions and 2 marks.
Very good down back, playing a bit of time from Aaron Duck throughout the afternoon. What about for the other team today?
Andy Wall, he was solid. He had 11 possessions, 4 marks, and 2 tackles.
Yeah, always a presence there, floating through the pack and taking marks and spoils.
Jack Cotchell, he was great. He had 24 possessions, 3 marks.